I transmigrated as the son of the supreme ancestral dragon. But the first thing I said to the ancestral dragon was, "Father, the dragon clan will perish within 3 years. You should hand the dragon clan over to me to manage." Then, before the ancestral dragon could react, I directly used the chaos bead given by the system to take my ancestral dragon father and imprison him. I even stuffed 99 little pink females inside. Seeing this, the ancestral dragon immediately roared, "Rebellious son! What are you doing?" At this time, the primordial world was in the midst of the great war between the dragon, phoenix, and Qilin clans. The dragon clan only needs to fight one more battle to dominate the primordial world. Your brothers have all died on the battlefield. Do you want to be a coward and surrender? Hearing this, I directly entered the chaos bead. Then, I said to my ancestral dragon father, "I want to leave some hope for the dragon clan. This is the space inside the chaos bead. You can cultivate here too." After saying that, I turned around and walked out of the chaos space, leaving only the ancestral dragon stomping in fury. "You rebellious son, let me out right now. Otherwise, the dragon clan will eventually be ruined by you." No matter how much he struggled, he could never step half a foot out of the chaos space. Returning to the Dragon Palace Hall, I gathered all the surviving top brass of the Dragon Clan. The dragon ministers transformed into human forms and gathered in the hall. Bowing to me, "We pay our respects to your highness." I sat high up in the hall and said loudly, "The ancestral dragon has been severely injured and has gone into secluded meditation. From now on, I will take full charge of managing all affairs of the Dragon Clan." As my voice fell, everyone looked at each other, but no one doubted it. Because I am currently only at the Golden Immortal Realm, no one would think I could imprison the ancestral dragon. At this time, someone spoke up. "We support all of your highness's decisions. Please issue your next orders, your highness." Hearing this, I nodded in satisfaction. Then my expression suddenly changed. "I have decided to withdraw from the three-clan war starting tomorrow." As soon as these words came out, everyone's expressions changed on the spot. The pressure on my body suddenly erupted. Relying on the bloodline of the ancestral dragon's legitimate son to firmly suppress them, I said with a face full of seriousness, "Now the ancestral dragon is severely injured, and my older brothers have all died in battle. Do you want to see our dragon clan completely wiped out? You don't need to say anything more. In 3 days, announce to the primordial world that our dragon clan is withdrawing from the three-clan Great War." Just then, another person spoke up, "But your highness, if the Phoenix and Qilin clans come knocking on our doors, what should we do?" Hearing this, my face turned cold. "Why do you have so much nonsense to say? Hurry up and step down." After a moment of silence, the dragon clan members left the hall one after another. After everyone left, I rubbed my head. I was already a bit tired after just saying a few words. I didn't expect being the head of a clan to be so troublesome. Then I thought of the complete array rewarded by the system. The innate yin-yang creation and destruction array. As long as I use the chaos bead as the array core, it will evolve the 4 symbols and 8 trigrams, creating endless life. Combined with the chaos bead, even a Zenith Heaven Golden Immortal couldn't do anything about it. Moreover, the system also rewarded me with the Heavenly Capital Destruction Divine Thunder. If I really can't win, I'll just drop a nuke, and the primordial world should be at peace. I quickly set up the array. Then I came to a secret room. As the legitimate son of the ancestral dragon, if I could elevate my bloodline a bit more, wouldn't I be on the same level as the ancestral dragon? Soon, the system prompted that the upgrade was successful. Amidst a warm current, I couldn't help but transform back into my original body. My scales became darker in color, and my physical strength skyrocketed. After transforming back into human form, a system prompt rang in my mind, detecting that the host is in a good mood. Giving you 2 choices. Choice 1, cultivate hard. Reward, the 6 paths of reincarnation method. This technique can be cultivated to the Zenith Heaven Golden Immortal Realm. Choice 2, slack off to the extreme. Reward, the title Slacking Immortal. I chose the first option without even thinking, and directly began to cultivate the 6 paths of reincarnation method. 3 days later, the news of the Dragon Clan withdrawing from the Great War spread throughout the primordial world. At this time, in the western Heavenly Demon Mountain, the demon ancestor Luo who was refining the 4 swords of immortal slaying. Hearing this news, he almost suffered from chi deviation. He was curious. He had originally wanted to use the resentment of the Great Tribulation to refine his array. Wouldn't the dragon clan's withdrawal make him fall short at the final step? Luo Hu snorted coldly and said, "It's easy to enter the tribulation. But you want to get out? How could I let you have your way?" Then he tore through the void and disappeared. Hong Jun on Yujing Mountain was equally puzzled. Now the Great Tribulation had already begun. And the heavenly secrets were chaotic. Even he couldn't calculate the variable of the dragon clan. And Yuan Feng, the ancestor of the Phoenix clan, heard the news. And breathed a sigh of relief. The madman of the dragon clan had finally relented. Next, she could properly deal with the Qilin clan. The Qilin clan actually dared to kill the direct descendants of my Phoenix clan. The Qilin clan, however, was exactly the opposite. Sure, Qilin roared, "Old dragon, you want to quit? Who will pay for my children who died in battle? You want to quit? I won't allow it." Luo Hu's layout was both clever and simple. Phoenixes kill dragons, dragons kill Qilins. Qilins kill phoenixes, the three sides were in a deadlock. How could a blood feud be something one side could just walk away from? In the blink of an eye, 1,000 years had passed. The three clans had recovered a little bit of their vitality. With the exception of the dragon clan. 1,000 years was far from enough for them to reproduce and recover. On this day, fierce flames suddenly ignited above the East Sea. The seawater boiled. And countless firebirds flew over. Below the firebirds, countless Qilins walked on the sea. The formerly hostile phoenixes and Qilins had actually joined forces. A moment later, a massive abyss was burned into the East Sea. And the dragon palace was directly exposed. Then Sher Qilin roared in the air. "Old dragon, get the hell out here." Such a huge change alarmed all the dragon clan members. Because the ancestral dragon was in seclusion. Everyone was in a panic. "We're doomed. The Phoenix and Qilin clans are at our door. What should we do? The Phoenix and Qilin clans are coming in too fiercely. Even the waters of the East Sea have been evaporated dry. Are they trying to wipe us all out?" Some of the more timid ones even collapsed to the ground in terror. "Our clan has been away from the battlefield for 1,000 years. The Phoenix clan still won't let us go." I sat high on the main seat without saying a word. A moment later, I spoke. "My father is still in secluded meditation. But with me here, you all don't need to worry." As soon as I finished speaking, an elderly clan member suddenly spoke up. "Secluded meditation, my ass. I see. You don't care about the survival of the dragon clan at all." Then, many people immediately echoed his words. "Exactly. You're just a kid. What gives you the right to manage us?" The people speaking were all my uncles. So I ignored them at first. But this only made them more arrogant. Ao Quan, standing in the center of the hall, sneered and challenged me. "I think Ao Xian is afraid of the ancestral dragon's blame. So he doesn't dare to report the fact that the Phoenix and Qilin clans have attacked us." A sensible elder scolded, "Elder Ao Quan, what are you doing? With a great enemy before us. Now is not the time for infighting." Hearing this, Ao Quan laughed aloud. His imposing manner fully displayed in his gestures. "Don't you know that to resist foreign aggression, we must first pacify the interior? The dragon clan is in this state today. All because of this kid Ao Xian's incompetence in governance. What does a wet-behind-the-ears kid know? What right does he have to sit in that chair? Just because he's the ancestral dragon's legitimate son? Originally, I wanted to save some face for this old guy. But on second thought, forget it. So I directly unleashed the power of my bloodline. A terrifying dragon pressure instantly swept through the entire hall. I was already the ancestral dragon's legitimate son. And with the system's help, my bloodline had been elevated. So my bloodline was already far above all other dragons. With the ancestral dragon absent, I am the dragon emperor. Then I looked at Ao Quan expressionlessly. And said, "I wanted to save you some face. But you really think you're something, don't you?" At this moment, Ao Quan was suffering in silence. My powerful dragon pressure suppressed him so much that he couldn't say a single word. Just then, Sher Qilin laughed loudly above the East Sea. "Old dragon, why don't you dare to come out? Are you afraid?" His voice entered the hall. And the pillars were shaken by this powerful sound wave. So much that they swayed dangerously. Some of the timid ones were directly scared to tears. "Your Highness, please hurry and let the ancestral dragon out. Otherwise, our dragon clan will perish today. I looked at the scene in the hall and shook my head. The people here were already the strong ones of the dragon clan. Yet they acted like this. Suddenly, the roof of the hall was ripped off entirely. A surge of black flames suddenly rose up. This was actually the 12th grade world-destroying Black Lotus. I didn't expect Luo Hu to have given it to Yuan Feng. They genuinely wanted to wipe out the dragon clan. After seeing me, Shi Qilin smirked fiercely. Since the old dragon isn't here, then I'll kill you, his legitimate son. Let's see if he'll save you or not. As his voice fell, Shi Qilin backhandedly pulled out a pitch-black spear. This was actually the Primordial world's #1 vicious treasure, the god-slaying spear. All the dragons closed their eyes. They had given up resisting and were ready for death. To this, I just smiled faintly. A tiny taiji diagram precisely blocked the tip of the god-slaying spear. A dragon shouted in pleasant surprise, "His Highness has made a move." He actually blocked Shi Qilin's attack with one hand. The dragons, surviving a brush with death, were crying all over the floor. Meanwhile, Shi Qilin gritted his teeth, cold sweat breaking out on his forehead. This is an array. The dragon clan really had a backup plan. In the next second, with the hall beneath me as the center, a profound pattern lit up. A million-mile array map covered the entire East Sea Dragon clan. Then I said loudly, "You two clans, welcome to my great array." As I spoke, my eyes turned one black and one white, gleaming with golden light in their depths. The power of the chaos bead was constantly being stimulated. Even the ancestral dragon was exerting effort inside it. But the hand I hid behind my back was trembling involuntarily. Acting tough was certainly satisfying. But the power of the god-slaying spear wasn't something I could completely resist yet. After calming my emotions, I shouted loudly, "Hear me, entire clan. Pour your power into the array map beneath you, and lend me a hand." After absorbing enough power, a massive taiji diagram appeared beneath my feet. The limitless produces the taiji. The taiji produces the two modes. In the next second, the taiji diagram spun rapidly. The flames covering the East Sea actually turned into monstrous floodwaters. This wasn't ordinary floodwater, but the power of Een, specifically meant to counter the Phoenix clan. The Phoenix clan were sun god birds. When Yuan Feng saw the seawater, she was instantly shocked. People of the Phoenix clan, retreat. And seeing the situation going south, Shi Qilin had long since taken his clansmen and retreated from the East Sea. The reason I held back and endured earlier was to wait for this exact moment. Now, none of them were going to escape. I immediately activated the array. With Yin and Yang reversed, endless seawater violently surged toward the two clans. A large number of Qilins and Phoenixes were knocked down by the seawater, falling into the great array below and turning into nourishment in the blink of an eye. The two founding ancestors wanted to save them, but they could only save a portion. The two clans instantly suffered massive casualties. With a cold face, I kept the array running. The previous blood debts needed to be paid in blood. However, although the array was strong, it could only catch them off guard and kill a wave of them. Soon, the remnants of the two clans retreated into the sky. Yuan Feng looked at her few remaining clansmen, her eyes turning red. At this moment, Shi Qilin spoke up. "Yuan Feng, break that array with me. He's just a coward hiding in his shell." As his voice fell, Shi Qilin raised the god-slaying spear and thrust it toward the array. The seawater that had just fallen was instantly dyed blood red. Just as the spear tip was about to pierce the array, a layer of film evolved from Yin and Yang. Principles appeared on the array surface. The power of the principles firmly entangled the god-slaying spear, constantly wearing down its power. Seeing this, Shi Qilin continued to exert force. The fierce aura became even more turbulent. Under his fierce attack, he actually briefly broke through the binding of the principles. A gap was knocked into the great array. Seeing this, I didn't hesitate to deploy the power of the two modes and four symbols. The seawater of the entire East Sea trembled violently again. A sky-reaching tornado instantly appeared on the sea surface. Countless thunderclouds gathered in the sky. The two modes of creation and destruction encompass countless evolutions. Thunder is one of them. Seeing this, Yuan Feng shouted, "You break the array. Leave this thunder to me." After saying that, Yuan Feng charged straight up to the sky. relying on the 12th grade world-destroying Black Lotus. She forcefully blocked the lightning strikes. Shirchilan, meanwhile, called upon his clansmen to charge towards the gap in the Great Array. The black fierce aura constantly eroded the principles, and soon corroded a large hole. But that was all. The innate yin-yang creation and destruction array specializes in defense. Even the god-slaying spear couldn't advance a single inch further. The battle between the three clans was deadlocked for a time. The enemy clansmen formed arrays in midair to attack, continuously landing blows on our array. The three clans stayed in this stalemate for a full 100 years. The Great Array was too strong. They couldn't break it at all. After 100 years, the spiritual energy of the East Sea was nearly depleted. Yuan Feng and Shirchilan were almost unable to hold on. I, however, was just like I was 100 years ago, borrowing the power of the array. I rested when I was tired. But Shirchilan knew clearly in his heart that if this went on, the Dragon Clan would still be the ones to suffer. The surrounding spiritual energy would deteriorate, eventually turning into a demonic land. Even if they defended their foundation, it would be mostly destroyed. I sighed inwardly, as expected of a clan's founding ancestor. In truth, the array secretly aligned with the operation of yin and yang, so the spiritual energy was still quite abundant. But dragging it out forever wasn't a solution either. I suddenly remembered the big toy rewarded by the system. Not only could it end the battle quickly, but it could also establish my authority. Thinking of this, I spoke loudly, "Old Chilan. Dead Phoenix, since you two are so arrogant. Then I'll give you a nuke to taste." Shirchilan and Yuan Feng were taken aback upon hearing this. "What is a nuke?" The two instantly went on guard. Yuan Feng even held the Black Lotus above her head. A massive amount of tribulation clouds suddenly gathered above the East Sea. At first, Yuan Feng didn't take it seriously. I sneered silently in my heart. The heavenly capital destruction divine thunder had already been taken out by me. In the next second, a terrifying purplish-black bolt of lightning struck down. Its terrifying power directly tore through space. Its power far exceeded any lightning strike from the Great Array before. The two founding ancestors suddenly realized that my target wasn't the two of them at all, but their clansmen circling in midair. The booming thunder instantly drowned out the silhouettes of all the enemies. The world turned into a purplish-black purgatory. The destruction thunder easily tore them to pieces. Severed limbs mixed with blood water continuously rained down from the sky. The entire dragon palace was dyed red. Once the power of the heavenly capital destruction divine thunder dissipated, I immediately repaired the damaged array. This explosion had directly wiped out half of the clansmen of both clans. I lamented secretly in my heart. Why didn't the system reward me with a few more nukes? The dragons inside the array were all dumbfounded. Am I seeing things? The Phoenix and Chilan clans are actually wiped out? Shirchilan stared at me with fire in his eyes. He knew it must be my doing. After today, the name Ao Xian would replace the ancestral dragon at the top of his hit list. But the surviving Chilans and Phoenixes all had blank stares, having lost their will to fight. The two founding ancestors didn't hesitate, and immediately fled the East Sea with their remnants at the speed of light. As soon as the strong enemies left, I activated the array, turning the universe upside down and transforming the principles into spiritual energy to repair the seawater of the East Sea. Just as I was about to return to the hall, I saw the dragons all staring blankly. Moved by inspiration, I raised my arm and shouted, "We won! Our dragon clan has won!" After a dead silence, cheers instantly exploded. The entire dragon clan fell into a frenzy. "Your Highness is peerlessly brave. Your Highness is mighty." I returned to the hall amidst the cheers. The elders who had questioned me earlier were now all silent. Only Ao Quan said with a face full of disdain, "Just a wet behind-the-ears kid, relying on the array left by the ancestral dragon. Do you really think you're somebody?" As his voice fell, the hall fell dead silent. Everyone looked at Ao Quan like he was an idiot. Although his crony clan elders didn't speak, their eyes also indicated their stance. I said with a face full of disdain, "Ao Quan, I gave you a chance. You didn't step up to protect the dragon clan. Now that I've stepped in to take care of the external enemies, what more do you want?" Hearing this, Ao Quan sneered. "Aren't you just relying on the array left by the ancestral dragon? If it wasn't for your status as the legitimate son, the one leading the dragon clan right now would be me." At this time, another elder asked amiably, Ao Xian. The ancestral dragon left you such a powerful array. Why didn't you tell us from the beginning? As soon as he finished speaking, another elder jumped out. The ancestral dragon left an array to protect the dragon clan. Yet you actually didn't tell us. And even kept it hidden. What are you trying to do? Both of these men were my uncles. One playing the good cop, the other playing the bad cop. It was nothing more than wanting to seize control of the innate yang creation and destruction array. At this moment, a young dragon in the corner roared. Elders, what are you trying to do? It was His Highness who protected the dragon clan. His status was extremely low. Yet he dared to go against the clan elders. In the next second, a muffled groan was heard. The young dragon was pinned to the ground and spat out a large mouthful of blood. Then another clan elder stepped forward. You have the nerve to say that? If Ao Xian hadn't kept the array to himself, we could have kept the Phoenix and Qilin clans here entirely. Before the war, did these people win, or did these people? I was already fed up. Ding. Your clan uncles think you are young and easy to bully. They want to take advantage of the ancestral dragon's absence to seize power over the dragon clan. You decide to be decisive. And kill them to establish your prestige. Reward, Dragon Prestige, Bloodline Upgrade. 2. Endure silently. Decide to ignore them and pay them no heed. Reward, Cultivation Upgrade, Bloodline Upgrade. 3. Compromise. Decide to imprison them. Reward, Dao Sight Heavenly Prison. 4. Filial Son of the Dragon Clan. Imprison them and find stunning beauties. Treating them as breeding slaves. To solve the Dragon Clan's underpopulation problem. Reward, Dao Sight Heavenly Prison. Bloodline Upgrade. Cultivation Upgrade. The options came exactly to my liking. The second option was eliminated immediately. Although the first option tempted me, I wasn't going to let them off easy anyway. But when I saw the fourth option, I couldn't help but reveal a bizarre smile. In the hall, seeing the sudden bizarre smile on my face, several clan elders inexplicably panicked. Ao Quan, for 1,000 years, you've always been dissatisfied with the ancestral dragon passing the throne to me. Never mind my previous lack of contributions to the dragon clan. Today I saved the dragon clan from fire and water. Yet you remain so ignorant of the times. If you want to die, I don't mind obliging you. Hee, finally couldn't hold back anymore? Want to crack down on your own clan? I directly released the power of my bloodline. Like a huge mountain pressing down on Ao Quan and the others. It forced them straight to their knees. Their knees deeply embedded into the floor. Although the rest weren't targeted by me, they also felt the pressure coming from the depths of their bloodlines and souls. Their blood ran wild. And their bones trembled. Your Highness. This bloodline. It makes me feel as if I'm seeing the ancestral dragon. Many dragons exclaimed in shock. I crossed my legs. And narrowed my eyes. Men, escort these uncles away and throw them into the great prison. Yes, we obey your command. We've been sick of these old guys for a long time. In the entire hall, all the dragons besides those few uncles actually all responded in unison. It even surprised me. I didn't expect my words to be so effective. It seems they were just the exceptions. In that case, I didn't even need to bother convicting them. After all, besides the ancestral dragon's direct descendants, these old geezers had the purest bloodlines. Without the system, I wouldn't have thought of it right away. I guess you old guys are getting off easy. The corners of my mouth curled up. The dragon clan has difficulty reproducing. And previously suffered heavy casualties following the ancestral dragon. Just perfect to have these elders add branches and leaves for the prosperity of the dragon clan. System rewards have been issued. Please select the location for the Dao Sight Heavenly Prison. Cultivation Upgrade. Rewards will be issued after collecting the women. I directly chose to replace the original Dragon Clan prison. The Heavenly Prison came with its own restrictions. Without my permission. Unless their realm surpassed quasi-sage. They shouldn't even think about leaving a single step. Moreover, it could subtly affect the prisoners' minds. It's just that this function wasn't fully unlocked yet. Ao Xian, bang. A palm landed squarely on Ao Quan's face, knocking him out on the spot. Is His Highness's name something you can just call out? The others also received the same treatment and were dragged into the heavenly prison. Does your highness have any other orders? If your highness wants to go to war, we are willing to fight to the death for your highness. With the ancestral dragon absent, we only submit to your highness. I looked up, my gaze passing through the seawater. I really have to thank you guys for letting me gather the hearts of all the dragon clan. From now on, the dragon clan will be my absolute domain. As for the ancestral dragon, he's stuck in the chaos bead and can't get out. After thinking for a moment, I used the power of the array to amplify my voice and announce to the entire primordial world. The current patriarch of the dragon clan announces that the dragon clan is withdrawing from the three-clan struggle. The Phoenix and Qilin clans attacked the dragon clan and received punishment from the heavenly Tao, which sent down world-destroying divine thunder. If anyone dares to offend the dragon clan again, the two clans are the precedent. The resonant voice made all factions change their expressions. On Yujing Mountain, Hong Jun had always been paying attention to the situation in the East Sea. He originally thought the dragon clan, under the suppression of the two clans, would definitely be on the verge of extinction. Luo, who had even lent out the god-slaying spear and the 12th grade world-destroying Black Lotus. He didn't expect that the Phoenix and Qilin clans wouldn't be able to breach an array first, and then be struck by a bolt of lightning of unknown origin that even he couldn't calculate, killing a massive number of their clansmen. Seeing that the battle between the three clans almost destroyed the oceans of the primordial world. If I hadn't stepped in to block some seawater, the primordial world might have suffered a drought in the future. It was understandable that the heavenly Tao sent down punishment. I didn't expect Luo, who would dare to lend out the god-slaying spear and the 12th grade world-destroying Black Lotus. Judging from the power displayed by Yuan Feng and Shi Qilin, these two treasures had already been refined by Luo, who to a very deep level. He even took advantage of the Great Tribulation to break the seal and obtained the 4 swords of immortal slaying. I'm afraid I'm no match for him alone. I need to find help. Having made up his mind, Hong Jun directly left Yujing Mountain. On the other side, demon ancestor Luo, who also absolutely didn't expect his plan to be foiled by the dragon clan again. How is this possible? How could the dragon clan have such power? Why? Didn't I know the dragon clan had such an array before? Could that final lightning bolt have been the heavenly Tao taking action? Then I really can't make a move against the dragon clan in the future. Going against the heavens is too disadvantageous for me right now. It seems I still have to start with the Phoenix and Qilin clans. Fortunately, this battle caused immense destruction to the primordial world and accumulated a lot of karma and fierce aura. The dragon clan has ruined my plans time and again. Once I successfully prove my Tao, I will definitely wipe you all out as a sacrifice to the Tao. His hands didn't stop refining the 4 swords of immortal slaying. Right now, he didn't dare to act rashly and provoke the heavenly Tao. The situations of the Phoenix and Qilin clans were similar. After their remnants retreated, they both announced the closure of their clans. Beaten to a pulp, they had no other choice. Damn dragon clan. You just wait. I've remembered this grudge. Once my Phoenix clan finishes recovering, we will definitely come back to kill you. And that old bastard from the Qilin clan. I bet he didn't even use his full strength this time. I refuse to believe that a broken array of the dragon clan could stop his god-slaying spear. Yuan Feng was extremely resentful, completely misunderstanding Shi Qilin, who had attacked with all his might. The missing direct descendants of my Phoenix clan must have been killed by the Qilin clan. They're probably still scheming against us. Inside the Qilin clan, the exact same drama of suspicion was playing out. Under my announcement, the primordial world entered a bizarre equilibrium. Powerhouses from all sides, wary of that mysterious lightning, and fearing it was the heavenly Tao's protection, didn't dare to covet the dragon clan. The two feuding families were severely crippled and unable to fight again. And during this time, I gave the dragons an order that made everyone's jaws drop. Since its birth, our clan has always been the race with the strongest combat power among the 3 clans. But the stronger we are, the harder it is to reproduce. Among the 3 clans, our clan has always had the smallest population. From now on, as our dragon clan rests and recuperates, our top priority is to raise our population. The dragons in the hall looked at each other. A dragon spoke up, Your Highness. This matter of reproduction. It's not like we can just reproduce whenever we want. I naturally understand. Next, you just need to search for beauties for me. I'll give you 1,000 years. Several dragons exchanged glances. Finally, a bold one stepped forward. Your Highness, this minor dragon has a daughter of heavenly beauty. I wonder if she could join your harem? My expression became a bit weird. How come? He's pushing his own daughter into the fire pit? It's best to find other beauties. Of course, if you strongly insist, it's not impossible. This time, not only do you have to go look, but the more the better. Everyone in the hall was startled. Your Highness, did you speak correctly? Your Highness, wouldn't that be too many? The young dragon from earlier gritted his teeth and stepped forward again. Your Highness, can your body handle so many? What does it have to do with me? I was stunned, and then realized I had been misunderstood by this bunch. They probably thought I wanted to sow my wild oats myself. These beauties are not being found to serve me, but are prepared for my good uncles. Then, I explained the plan to everyone in the hall. That's how it is. These women are for my good uncles. After all, with such pure bloodlines, we can't let them just sit in the heavenly prison, being fed for free by the dragon clan, right? After saying that, with a half-smile, I looked at the dragon who wanted to offer his daughter, scaring him into shaking his head wildly. Your Highness, I was mistaken. My daughter is only 3 years old this year. It's inappropriate to send her to the old dragons in the heavenly prison. How could that work? The corners of the dragon's mouths twitched. 3 years old? That was 1,000 years ago, right? Alright, I know what you mean. Besides finding beauties, also find more medicinal herbs and tonics. I believe you all understand. After all, those are my most beloved uncles. Ignoring their reactions, I gave the orders and left the hall directly, continuing my secluded cultivation. Cultivation knows no time. When I woke up, I found that thousands of years had passed. The 6 paths of reincarnation method, combined with the elevated bloodline, made my cultivation extremely fast. But I shook my head and walked out of the secret room. My cultivation hasn't improved fast enough over thousands of years. Although the spiritual energy here is abundant enough, the war affected too large an area. The spiritual energy hasn't even recovered yet. It seems I still have to endure for a while. Outside, the young dragon from before had been waiting for a long time. I pay my respects to your Highness. I stopped him from bowing. While in seclusion, I need someone to pass on orders for me. It's time to form a core loyal team. This young man in front of me has good potential. What's your name? Your Highness, my name is Long Jiao. Jiao as in the extreme of numbers. Long Jiao, good name. Long Jiao, with your late-stage golden immortal cultivation, you are slightly stronger than me. And you are loyal enough. Why don't I form a 9 dragons guard? Tentatively consisting of 9 people? You can count as one, Long Jiao. The rest of the people still need to be found. I was pondering the feasibility of forming the 9 dragons guard, when Long Jiao interrupted me. Thank you for the praise, Your Highness. Your Highness, the beauties have been brought. My eyes lit up. My good uncles, here I come. Following Long Jiao, I soon saw the batch of stunning beauties. Even I was shocked by the scale of it. Every single one of them was breathtakingly beautiful, with myriad postures. The number was extremely massive. This was really a steal for those old geezers. Who mainly contributed to this? I asked. To answer Your Highness, it was mainly the remaining elders of the clan. They were exceptionally attentive to Your Highness's matters. This time, they specifically instructed me, saying that I am loyal to Your Highness, and told me to take the credit for myself. Then why did you say it was them? I turned around with a smile. Long Jiao is quite an honest and rigid fellow. I am fiercely loyal to Your Highness, and I don't dare to conceal anything. Because of the previous battle, Your Highness killed the enemies who killed my older brother and father. You avenged my blood feud. Reason accepted. I took this group of beauties straight to the heavenly prison. Over these past few years, someone had obviously told them their fate already, saving me the trouble of talking nonsense. Soon, I saw those clan uncles again. Rebellious son. Do you still have any respect for us uncles in your eyes? How dare you lock us up? Let us out quickly. If you let us out now, regarding what happened before, We can let bygones be bygones. When the ancestral dragon returns, we can also pretend this matter never happened. These old geezers really don't know what's good for them. Why are you uncle so angry? I came today to announce something good. I stepped aside with a smile, revealing the dense crowd of beauties behind me. I was afraid you uncles might get bored in this heavenly prison. So here. I've gathered 10,000 beauties to serve you. This treatment is much better than what you had outside, right? Long Joe followed behind, looking sympathetically at the clan elders. 10,000 beauties. Dragons are inherently lustful. He hoped that one day they would still be able to walk out of the heavenly prison standing up. Ao Quan looked at the beauties and swallowed hard. But an ominous premonition rose in his heart. Ao Xian. What exactly do you want to do? Uncles, there's actually a mastermind behind the three-clan struggle. After fighting for so many years, the Dragon Clan's losses have truly been too severe. We urgently need a large amount of new blood to replenish our ranks. Didn't you want my position? I'm bringing you an opportunity right here. Help the Dragon Clan birth 100,000 or 80,000 kids. And you will have rendered a great merit. Long Jiao, listening from behind, twitched the corners of his mouth. Birth 100,000 or 80,000? This is going to play Ao Quan to death. I teased Ao Quan in the heavenly prison for fun. When I came out, the beauties behind me had all stayed inside. Speaking of which, should I send some to my old man too? I stroked my chin. This idea seems feasible. If the ancestral dragon has more direct descendants, wouldn't the Dragon Clan take off? Direct descendants have extreme potential. And even reaching Zenith Heaven Golden Immortal is hopeful. Forget it, it probably wouldn't work. Dragon reproduction is already difficult, let alone for the ancestral dragon. I shook my head. Those elders are still doing all right. But the ancestral dragon's life form is too advanced. Ordinary people can't handle it. The longer a species lives, the harder it is to reproduce. In the primordial world, it's probably the heavenly Tao's doing. After returning, I went into seclusion again and instructed Long Jiao to take care of something. Thousands of years passed in the blink of an eye. This time, I woke up on my own. Because I was about to break through. Combined with the accumulation of the past 1,000 years, I'm nearing the late stage of the Golden Immortal realm. After 2 bloodline enhancements, my talent is even stronger. The Phoenix and Qilin tribes have been crippled. Unless Luo Hu intervenes. The Dragon tribe has mostly escaped the Great Tribulation. I muttered to myself. As long as Luo Hu makes a move, the Dragon tribe will definitely be dragged back into the tribulation. Just then, I noticed a system prompt. The restriction on the option that rewarded the Chaos Bead has been lifted. Now, even if I go out to travel, the system won't take the Chaos Bead back. Your Highness, the matter you asked me to handle is done. Long Jiao suddenly entered the secret chamber and bowed. A golden light flashed in my eyes. The 9 dragon guards have been established. This was exactly what I asked him to do 1,000 years ago. Hurry and tell me how things are going. Your Highness, the 9 dragon guards are just as you envisioned. Including me, there are only 9 of us. The other 8 are the leaders of the elite troops. From when the ancestral dragon was around. Because of your Highness's deeds, these battle-loving dragons are already fully convinced by you. In the entire dragon tribe, they are the most loyal to your Highness. I also followed your instructions. If I didn't trust them, I threw them into the heavenly prison. Every one of them spent at least 2 months in there. Long Jiao heavily emphasized the words at least. Dragons having some hobbies is nothing to be ashamed of. You should try things out more. I patted Long Jiao's shoulder. He sighed. Right, Your Highness. There are a few other matters that need your decision. Long Jiao bluntly changed the subject. A secret realm has appeared in the primordial world. It's highly beneficial for Golden Immortal experts. Your Highness, do you want to go? It could help you break through your bottleneck. I'm not going. Long Jiao nodded. Understood. I will arrange. He suddenly froze. Not going? Your Highness, this secret realm is very important. And it's very safe. It's a permanently open secret realm. It will be very helpful to you, no. Not going. I don't need it. Cultivating within the tribe is enough for me. I flatly refused. You've got to be kidding me. Secret realms are where people die the most. The system advised me to just stay safe and grow. I'm absolutely not going out to risk my life. Your Highness. A small tribe wants to form an alliance with the dragon tribe. Do you want to head out for this? You guys just discuss it. I don't need to go out. Wait, does this kind of thing even require me leaving the dragon tribe? Your Highness, we need you to go build a relationship. Not going. I refused again. Matters inside the dragon tribe are easy to handle. But don't even think about making me leave the tribe. Not even a half step. The primordial world is chaotic right now. Hongjun and Luo who are fighting behind the scenes. I finally managed to lead the dragon tribe out of the tribulation. This is definitely a scheme and temptation from the heavenly Tao. Trying to drag me back into the tribulation. I have to stay low. If it involves leaving the dragon tribe, just don't tell me. I won't take these on. I shook my head. However, Long Jiao constantly bringing up going out reminded me of something. The dragon tribe is resting and recovering. The Phoenix and Qilin tribes are surely doing the same. Even though I'm not leaving. I can't just watch my enemies have an easy time. I need to find something to do. Ding. The dragon tribe is resting. But your enemies, the Phoenix and Qilin tribes, are also resting. Will you decide to do nothing? And ignore them? Reward, bloodline upgrade. Option 2, take the opportunity for revenge. And launch a sneak attack while they rest. Reward, cultivation upgrade. Option 3, sow discord. And instigate conflict between the two tribes, making them suspicious of each other. Reward, primordial spirit body, which can increase the spiritual energy density of your cave. Option 4, repair relationships. And send treasures to the two tribes to resolve grievances. Reward, Phoenix tribe's goodwill. Qilin tribe's temporary goodwill. To think an option was triggered at this moment. My eyes lit up. Option 4, sending treasures, could repair relationships. That gave me an idea. Since that's the case, wouldn't sending treasures to only one of them make the other one suspicious? System, I choose option 3. I said inwardly. Long Jiao. Go to the treasury and pick out some treasures. In 3 days, you will go to the Phoenix tribe to deliver them. Just say that I want to resolve the grudge with the Phoenix tribe. Regardless of success or failure. Just make sure the treasures are delivered. In the extreme south of the primordial world. Deep within the undying volcano where the Phoenix tribe resides. Countless palaces were already empty. Most of their original owners had met violent ends. In the central grand hall, Yuan Feng sat on the Phoenix throne, deep in thought. For the past few centuries, the battle with the dragon tribe had become his lingering nightmare. What was the deal with that final bolt of lightning? The ancestral dragon didn't have that kind of power either. Was it really like that brat said? A punishment from the heavenly Tao? If it weren't for that damn lightning, the dragon tribe would already be extinct. Thinking of this, fury blazed in Yuan Feng's eyes. He smashed the table with a single slap. The wooden shard smashed through the main doors. The guards outside were already used to it. A guard spoke indignantly. It's all because of that lightning that our Phoenix tribe suffered heavy casualties. Otherwise, the position of overlord of the primordial world would definitely be ours. A one-armed guard nearby shook his head. He had survived that battle. And after centuries of recovery, he still wasn't fully healed. But that was the might of the heavenly Tao. Maybe attacking the dragon tribe was a mistake to begin with. I heard the dragon tribe sent an envoy today. They're clearly up to no good. He's here. Seeing Long Jiao flying over from afar, one of them hurriedly went to report. Long Jiao entered the grand hall directly to meet Yuan Feng. Long Jiao of the dragon tribe greets Yuan Feng. Long Jiao bowed. Did that brat send you here to show off? Yuan Feng's face was dark. He forcefully resisted the urge to slap him to death. After all, when two tribes are at war, you don't kill the envoy. The dragon tribe sending someone is obviously ill-intentioned. If you ask me, we should just kill him and be done with it. Exactly, just kill him. Our two tribes are locked in a fight to the death anyway. The Phoenix tribe members in the hall were enraged. Their killing intent overflowing unstoppably. Enough, be quiet. Let's see what he has to say. Yuan Feng waved his hand to stop them. But his golden immortal level killing intent, which was hard to resist, was completely unhidden. He wanted to see Long Jiao make a fool of himself. Long Jiao, carrying the protective treasures I gave him, was not only unpanicked, but even let out a relaxed laugh. He explained his purpose for coming, and concluded by saying, I am here representing His Highness, bringing a few modest gifts, hoping to resolve the hatred between our two tribes. As soon as he said this, the Grand Hall instantly fell dead silent. Yuan Feng forgot to exert his killing intent. All the Phoenix tribe members suspected they had heard wrong. The two tribes had fought fiercely, losing over half their forces. As the victorious side, I was actually sending someone to make peace and give gifts. This left Yuan Feng completely dumbfounded. What exactly did the dragon tribe want? Patriarch, we can't accept it. The dragon tribe and our Phoenix tribe have a reconcilable enmity. The Grand Hall erupted in an uproar. Red-eyed Phoenix tribe members firmly refused to accept it. Yes, Patriarch. The dragon tribe is about to withdraw from the tribulation. They have no further conflict with our Phoenix tribe. A Phoenix tribe member who advocated accepting the treasures had just spoken. When he was forced back by the killing intent of others around him, the hall split into two factions. Those who hadn't fought wanted to fight to the death. The survivors had developed inner demons and didn't dare fight back. Long Jiao took all this in, full of confidence. Yuan Feng originally wanted to refuse, but remembered the terrifying lightning that had severely crippled the Phoenix tribe. If he didn't accept it, what if the dragon tribe took advantage of their weakness and slaughtered their way into the undying volcano? He hesitated. Patriarch, why don't we accept it? Yuan Feng paused. It was his trusted confidant. Seeing him hesitate, the confidant sent a secret voice transmission. Patriarch, if we accept the treasures, a superficial reconciliation doesn't really bind us, does it? You don't smack a smiling face, so let's just accept it. Yuan Feng's eyes lit up. First accept the treasures to restore our strength, and make plans later. I'll accept the items. You may leave. Long Jiao smiled even more happily, making the Phoenix tribe members gnash their teeth in anger, though they didn't dare make a move. After leaving the treasures, Long Jiao left the Phoenix tribe without a moment's delay, flying straight back to the East Sea Dragon Palace, and woke me from my seclusion. Your Highness, the task you assigned me is complete. Long Jiao knelt on one knee and recounted what he had seen and heard. Hearing how Yuan Feng went from resisting to the sheer frustration of having to accept it, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. Stand up. You handled this matter well. Now, to complete the system option. All that's left is to sow discord between the two tribes. When the Phoenix and Qilin tribes attacked us, the Qilin tribe was the main attacking force. Yuan Feng just held the grade 12 world-destroying Black Lotus and hid in the back to block the lightning. After the battle, sure Qilin was injured, but Yuan Feng, under the protection of the grade 12 world-destroying Black Lotus, was almost completely unharmed. I just don't believe Sir Qilin holds no resentment in his heart. I stood with my hands behind my back. Long Jiao's eyes were filled with admiration. He marveled at my ability to control the situation with ease and play the dragon and Phoenix tribes in the palm of my hand. It's a good thing Your Highness was born into our tribe. If you were in the Phoenix or Qilin tribe, the dragon tribe would be in grave danger. Long Jiao, there's one more thing I need you to do next. Do it like this. As Long Jiao listened, golden light constantly flickered in his eyes, and he looked at me with even more reverence. Your Highness, this plan is truly brilliant. Your subordinate will go handle it right away. After Long Jiao left, I smiled without a word. What was this, really? The thing I asked him to do was precisely to spread rumors. I wanted to make the fact that the Phoenix tribe accepted the dragon tribe's treasures known throughout the entire primordial world. I also added a little something extra. Rumors only get more outrageous as they spread. Once it reached the Qilin tribe's ears, my goal would be achieved. On the second day, the spread of the rumors escalated just as I had hoped. Hey man, do you still remember the dragon tribe from a century ago? And their battle with the other two tribes? I remember. That battle was world-destroying. It was terrifying. Divine lightning even fell from the sky, crippling both the Phoenix and Qilin tribes. A few plant spirits gathered together to chat. One of the spirits laughed smugly. Let me tell you. I've got the latest inside scoop right here. What scoop? What scoop? Let me tell you guys. The battle back then. It looked like the dragon tribe was fighting the other two alone. But actually, the dragon and phoenix tribes teamed up to trap and kill the Chilan tribe. Didn't you see that after that battle? The phoenix patriarch was perfectly fine. And only Sir Chilan was heavily injured? And the ancestral dragon, who didn't show up, was actually protecting the phoenix tribe under the divine lightning. It seemed like the phoenix tribe suffered heavy casualties. But in reality, they were all hiding safely in the undying volcano. This kind of massive gossip involving the three major tribes provided endless entertainment for all living beings. In this boring primordial world, the rumors spread far faster than I expected. In the Chilan tribe's grand hall, something happened. Something happened. Patriarch, this is bad. A Chilan barged into the grand hall and relayed all the rumors to Sir Chilan. Is everything you said true? Sir Chilan's face was pitch black. Patriarch, it's already spread across the entire primordial world. Patriarch, I've heard it too. The Phoenix tribe has already accepted the Dragon tribe's treasures. Many people saw this with their own eyes. When Long Jiao first went, he didn't hide his figure. So many people saw him. Patriarch. Our tribe spies over at the Phoenix tribe also discovered that a dragon stayed at the undying volcano for a long time before leaving. Patriarch, we were schemed against by the Phoenix and Dragon tribes. I heard the Dragon tribe sent treasures to the Phoenix tribe. It was to thank the Phoenix tribe. No, I heard that the two tribes had colluded long ago. The treasures this time are just what the Dragon tribe had originally agreed to give the Phoenix tribe. They're only delivering them now. The Phoenix tribe is truly despicable. The grand hall was as noisy as a bustling market. There were all sorts of versions, but they only had one core message. The Phoenix and Dragon tribes had schemed against the Chilan tribe. In their eyes, a backstabbing teammate was worse than an enemy. Enough, stop talking. Sir Chilan's expression was gloomy. Since everyone is saying this, when we attacked the Dragon tribe, the Phoenix tribe never actively attacked the Grand Formation at all. Yuan Feng, you old fogey, you are absolutely shameless. Sir Chilan ignited with fury, malevolent aura infecting his sanity. His aura as a great firmament golden immortal soared into the sky, directly blasting away the people around him. Old Phoenix, I will fight you to the death. His anger toward the Phoenix tribe instantly surpassed his hatred for the Dragon tribe. On the third day of the rumor spreading, the Chilan tribe secretly gathered their army. On the fifth day, the Phoenix tribe realized something was wrong, but it was too late. At noon, Sir Chilan led a massive army to attack the undying volcano. The conflict between the two tribes ignited once again. Sir Chilan, are you crazy? Our two tribes have suffered heavy losses. If we keep fighting, others will just take advantage of us. Yuan Feng appeared, his expression solemn. I'm crazy? Old Phoenix. You still have the nerve to say such things? You and the Dragon tribe allied to trap me. And I am here today to seek justice. Yuan Feng instantly understood that Sir Chilan had believed the rumors. Sir Chilan, those are all rumors. My Phoenix tribe never did any of those things. Yuan Feng gritted his teeth, but knew in his heart that he was in huge trouble. The treasures sent by the Dragon tribe were right there in the tribe, and had even just been distributed. Rumors? Sir Chilan stared coldly at Yuan Feng. Since they are rumors, do you dare let me enter your tribe's lands to search and see if I can find anything from the Dragon tribe? The auras of the Dragon and Phoenix tribe's treasures were completely different, making them extremely easy to distinguish. That's impossible. Yuan Feng frowned. How many dragons did our two tribes kill before? We already confiscated many Dragon tribe treasures to begin with. How could you tell the difference? So you're saying you have a guilty conscience? If you really didn't collude with the Dragon tribe, why wouldn't you dare let me search? Sir Chilan flew into a rage, convinced that the Phoenix tribe had indeed colluded with the Dragon tribe to scheme against him. Listen to me explain. In the battle a century ago, our Phoenix tribe also suffered heavy losses. If I had colluded with the Dragon tribe, I wouldn't have dragged so many of my own tribesmen down with me, right? Heh, who knows if those tribesmen who died are really dead? No matter what Yuan Feng said, Sir Chilan completely refused to believe it. Yuan Feng, you and the Dragon tribe schemed against me. Today, I won't let you have it easy either. Malevolent aura surged again. Shirchilin unexpectedly took out the god-slaying spear, pointing its tip right at Yuan Feng. Qilin tribe, retreat 3,000 miles. Leave this place to me. Malevolent energy separated from the god-slaying spear. Behind Shirchilin, a colossal Qilin Dharma avatar materialized, reaching the heavens and touching the earth. The Dharma avatar stood upon the undying volcano, unexpectedly mobilizing the volcano's power as well. It seems a fight today is unavoidable. Yuan Feng was also infuriated and spark drew fire. He directly brought out the grade 12 world-destroying Black Lotus, the two treasures loaned out by Luo Hu. Conversely, escalated the danger level of the battle between the two tribal leaders up another notch. The two fought fiercely for 3 days and 3 nights. News of the Qilin and Phoenix tribes clashing spread throughout the 3 realms, completely confirming the truth of the rumors. After I heard the news, I immediately dispatched Long Jiao and 3,000 elite soldiers straight to the undying volcano to support the Phoenix tribe. On the 9th day after the rumor spread, the Dragon tribe's reinforcements arrived. Long Jiao looked at the massive Dharma avatar from afar and directly shouted out, "Senior Yuan Feng, our tribe's reinforcements have arrived. Quickly deploy your troops and surround the Qilin tribe with us. We will leave none of them alive. As long as the Qilin tribe is wiped out, my Dragon tribe will retreat. And this world will belong to your Phoenix tribe." Hearing these words, Yuan Feng was so angry he nearly spat blood. And when these words fell into Shirchilin's ears, it was simply adding fuel to the fire. "Yuan Feng, matters have reached this point, what else do you have to say?" The furious Shirchilin's attacks became even more ferocious, and the elite troops behind him plunged straight into a meat grinder with the Phoenix tribe. Yuan Feng couldn't explain himself even with 100 mouths. He also began to fight with true wrath. The two tribes fought for a full month. Once Shirchilin's anger had somewhat subsided, seeing that he couldn't take down the Phoenix tribe, he took the Qilin tribe and retreated. Yuan Feng had a hard time outlasting him, and wanted to vent his frustration on the Dragon tribe, only to find that Long Jiao and his troops had run away even faster, completely out of sight. "Dragon tribe, you just wait." Yuan Feng gritted his teeth, filled with resentment. When Long Jiao returned to the Grand Hall, I was sitting in the main seat, overjoyed. Just as the Phoenix and Qilin tribes had started fighting, the system prompted that the option was completed. I planted the rewarded primordial spirit wood in the formation courtyard outside the secret chamber. After the spirit wood was planted, the density of the surrounding spiritual energy skyrocketed visibly. Combined with my enhanced bloodline, my current cultivation speed is at least 10 times faster than my predecessors. It's estimated that in just 10 years, I will be able to break through to the late golden immortal stage. At this speed, won't I be stomping on Hongjun and punching Luo Hu in the future? Your Highness, you truly predict things like a god. As expected of your Highness. Under your Highness's leadership, we, the Dragon tribe, will definitely become the overlord of the entire primordial world. After Long Jiao finished reporting the frontline battle situation, everyone in the hall admired me with utmost prostration. The Qilin and Phoenix tribes were already heavily damaged. After fighting another battle like this, they probably won't be able to recover for at least a millennium. Yes, and furthermore, in the future, those two tribes will likely find it hard to unite against our Dragon tribe ever again. Once the ancestral dragon finishes his seclusion, our Dragon tribe will become the overlord of the primordial world. Listening to everyone's excited discussions, I could only smile. Overlord? That's far off. This is only the first stage of the Great Tribulation. After the great battle between Hongjun and Luo Hu, saints will emerge, and great firmament. Golden immortals will no longer be the peak combat power of the primordial world. Just thinking about the future gave me a headache. Ding. As the ruler of the Dragon tribe, how can you not have your own core team? Please make a choice, host. Option 1, subdue the 3 pure ones to become your core team. Reward, Heavenly Dao's attention, Heavenly Dao's hostility. Title, Brave and Fearless. Equipping increases courage, decreases intelligence. Option 2, subdue Nuwa to become your core team. Reward, Title Brave and Fearless. Bloodline upgrade, Connate Dao body. Option 3, subdue Kuanping to become your core team. Reward, Kuanping method. Grants Kuanping's transformation abilities and yin-yang magic. Option 4, subdue Kongxian to become your core team. Reward, 1 Fusong tree. An option was unexpectedly triggered again. I ignored the clamor in the hall. Listening to the options, I took a sharp breath. Good heavens, subduing the 3 pure ones and manhwa? The system dared to suggest it. But I wouldn't dare do it. Those are future saints, bearing world-creating merit or heaven-defying backgrounds. How could a mere golden immortal like me keep them in check? Kuimping and Kongxian, on the other hand, could be considered. System, I choose to subdue Kongxian. The corners of my mouth curled up. Kongxian is Yuan Fang's child. It would be too interesting if I took him in. With this move, I'm going to completely screw the Phoenix tribe over. Tens of thousands of miles east of the Phoenix tribe, there was an unremarkable mountain peak surrounded by the sea. The spiritual energy around the mountain was low, and ordinary immortals passing by would shake their heads and leave. Today, however, Long Jiao and I arrived here. I strolled upon the ocean, looking up at this tall mountain. Long Jiao, are you sure Kongxian is here? I'm sure. But Your Highness, do you really want to subdue Kongxian? He is Yuan Fang's heir after all. Long Jiao was a bit hesitant. I frowned. Kongxian was Yuan Fang's child anyway. So how could he be exiled? To a place so far from the undying volcano? Even ordinary Phoenix tribe members had better treatment than this. It seemed there must be some hidden circumstances. Turning to look at Long Jiao beside me, I was a bit displeased. Your Highness, your subordinate is truly not used to wearing those. I definitely have no objections against Your Highness. Seeing my expression, though this personality puts one at ease. For me, the grand acting patriarch of the dragon tribe, to go out with a guard who doesn't even wear a decent magical treasure. It was truly shabby. Forget it. Since you're not used to it, we'll drop it. I waved my hand and stepped up the mountain. Upon reaching the summit, the scene before us looked even more desolate. Some ordinary spirit bamboo was planted around, barely maintaining a meager amount of spiritual energy. In the middle of the bamboo grove was an extremely crude bamboo hut. It seemed his conflict with the Phoenix tribe was quite serious. There was a good chance of subduing him. Just as I was thinking, a young man walked out of the bamboo hut. Who are you two? And what is your business here? Kongxian had been forced to interrupt his cultivation. Seeing the two of us unfamiliar faces, his mood was clearly terrible. If you are lost, then leave quickly. Long Jiao stepped in front of me. In an instant, the wind and clouds abruptly changed. He directly made a move. He clearly wanted to establish my dominance. Dark clouds gathered at the mountaintop, and heavy rain was about to pour. Yet it was met by a violent wave of heat that forcefully dispersed a part of it. Dragons? This is the territory of my Phoenix tribe. What are you dragons doing here? Kongxian struck out forcefully and confronted Long Jiao. The two were evenly matched in cultivation. My eyes lit up. This mountain was extremely devoid of spiritual energy. He had cultivated bitterly here since childhood, yet could actually match Long Jiao, who cultivated in the dragon tribe's lands year-round. As expected of Yuan Fang's son, his inherent potential was extremely high. Long Jiao, come back. I stopped Long Jiao and looked at Kongxian. Nice to meet you. I am the current acting patriarch of the dragon tribe, and also your future master. As soon as the words fell, Kongxian looked at me like I was a fool. Acting patriarch of the dragon tribe? Just you? Kongxian clearly didn't believe it. He wants to subdue me? Where does he get this confidence? Just based on your golden immortal cultivation? Audacious. His Highness is now the universally recognized acting patriarch of our dragon tribe. Even your patriarch Yuan Feng couldn't gain the upper hand against His Highness. Subduing you is thinking highly of you. Kongxian's expression finally changed slightly, and he put away his contempt. The story of Yuan Feng's defeat had spread across the primordial world. He had clearly heard it too. So what if you are the dragon tribe's acting patriarch? I, Kongxian, yield only to heaven and earth in this life. Even if the ancestral dragon came personally, don't even think about subduing me. You should go back. If it weren't for the fact that he had no chance of winning a 2-on-1 fight, he would have attacked long ago after being told to submit to someone's face. Don't be in a rush to refuse. If you follow me, leaving aside other things. You'll have enough cultivation resources. I spoke. Kong Xian scoffed at it. Enough cultivation resources? The spirit bamboo planted on my immortal mountain is already highly valuable. Why would I need your meager cultivation resources? In his eyes, this broken mountain was already a very good blessed land for cultivation. I chuckled inwardly. Truly a lack of experience in the world. With a grand wave of my hand, countless top-grade spirit herbs, each tens of thousands of years old, poured out from the chaos bead. Instantly, they piled up into a small mountain in front of him. These are just what I usually keep in the bead as snacks. Are these cultivation resources enough? I looked at Kong Xian with a half-smile. I clearly saw Kong Xian's throat bob heavily. His gulping motion was extremely obvious. The piles of top-grade resources before him made his mouth go dry. But he was still stubbornly holding on. Heh, you think you can subdue me with just these? You look down on me, Kong Xian, far too much. This is just wishful thinking on your part. Kong Xian forcefully resisted looking at the pile of spirit herbs. If this pile of treasures were planted on the mountain, the spiritual energy would skyrocket 100 times over. I remember your name is Ao Xian. You should still head back. I can't possibly agree. Although he said that, he couldn't hide his gulping at all. I gave a faint smile. I've never felt heartached about throwing money around. The ancestral dragon's wealth was meant to be used for expanding power anyway. I waved my hand again. 10,000-year-old spirit medicines gushed out from my sleeve like a spring. Soon, a swelling small mountain of spirit medicines completely blocked Long Jiao and me behind it. A dense spiritual energy hit him right in the face. Kong Xian was completely dumbfounded. If he had these resources, his cultivation speed would increase by at least 10 times. He would quickly make those guys in the Phoenix tribe see him in a new light. But soon, his eyes hardened and he turned his back. Tears of desire, however, disappointingly drooled from the corner of his mouth. Yuan Feng is my father. Father and son have a deep bond. We are connected by flesh and blood. I raised my hand and withdrew the spirit medicines. I admired him inwardly. As expected of a future almighty figure of the primordial world, his heart was indeed resolute. But what followed? Kong Xian's words made everyone present drop their jaws. He turned his back and faintly added a sentence, so, to make me submit to you, you gotta add more money. I almost died laughing on the spot. In my past life, there was that add money layman. And this Kong Xian was also a man of true character. Aside from these spirit medicines, how about I give you 10 pieces of connate spiritual treasures? Dad. A string of question marks floated above Long Jiao's and my heads. Kong Xian was also stunned. He had accidentally shouted out the fantasy in his heart. But he quickly ignored the awkwardness. Because I had offered 10 connate spiritual treasures. He hadn't even seen a post-celestial spiritual treasure. So the shock value of 10 connate spiritual treasures far exceeded that pile of spirit medicines. A real man's word is as heavy as 9 tripods. Since it's already been spoken, then I, Kong Xian, accept. He wasn't well received in the Phoenix tribe anyway. He simply decided to go all the way. Does everything you said earlier still count? Rest assured, of course it does. But I won't be your father. From now on, just call me Master. Understood, Master. Kong Xian's expression was still a bit unnatural. I didn't mind. He would get used to it over time. Ding. Option completed. Reward distributed. The Fusang tree sapling is in hand. The Fusang tree is where the sun rises in the primordial world. The resting place of the three-legged golden crow. With it, the sun will belong to my family in the future. Maybe I can even bring the sun goddess, Shiha, into my pocket. Kong Xian stared at me blankly. It seemed he was stunned that I was so happy about subduing him. Being valued this much for the first time. He actually felt somewhat moved inside. I came back to my senses. And noticed Kong Xian's gaze had become docile. System. How does it work if Kong Xian betrays me later? Ding. Host, rest assured. When Kong Xian decided to submit, the system automatically signed a contract. Unless his strength far exceeds the host's, reaching the quasi-saint realm, he will not betray you. Hearing the system's words, I was completely relieved. I had Kong Xian transform back into his true form. To take Longio and me back to the dragon tribe. He actually even used his divine power to refine the entire immortal mountain into a magical treasure. And packed it up to take with him. It seemed he had genuinely submitted. Let's go, Kong Xian. We'll take a tour around the primordial world first. Kong Xian originally didn't want to be a mount. But he instantly yielded under my money offensive. He even proactively added flight special effects. Our first stop was the undying volcano. The giant peacock swaggered across the sky. The peacock looked down from above. And smugly flicked its tail. You broke fools of the Phoenix tribe. Your grandpa is leaving. Don't miss me too much. With a flap of its wings, it kicked up a fierce gale, causing the volcano's flames to blow backwards into the mountain. Looking at the scrambling Phoenix tribe below, Kong Xian knew when to stop. And carried us far away. Having finally extinguished the flames, a group of Phoenix tribe members had dark expressions. That guy is Kong Xian. Look. The one on his back is that Ao Xian from the dragon tribe. As soon as the sharp-eyed Phoenix tribe member spoke, it instantly ignited everyone's fury. The dignified heir of Yuan Feng is actually serving as a mount for the dragon tribe? This is an absolute disgrace. Kong Xian. How dare he? The Phoenix tribe members were filled with righteous indignation, wishing they could shoot the peacock out of the sky. But they didn't dare. The Phoenix tribe had just suffered a huge loss and formed a grudge with the Qilin tribe. How could they dare to provoke me, who had the ancestral dragon backing me? Riding on the peacock's back, I looked down from above. And smiled faintly. I just love seeing you guys want to kill me. But be absolutely powerless against me. Let's go, my cute little phoenix. Let's go take a spin around the Qilin tribe's side. And then head back to the dragon tribe. Kong Xian was helpless. And obediently flew towards the Qilin tribe. Just like this. We took a swaggering tour around the primordial world. That's a member of the Phoenix tribe. That kind of bloodline power. They probably have the bloodline of the Phoenix patriarch. And on his back. Isn't that the ancestral dragon's only remaining heir? Ao Xian? In the Qilin tribe, the beasts looked up at the sky. Their eyes filled with unsuppressed anger. The dragon and Phoenix tribes really are in cahoots. These tribes have actually allied together. Sure, Qilin had originally still harbored doubts that it was a ploy to sow discord. Now it was completely confirmed. Yuan Feng's heir is even serving as a mount for him. If this isn't an alliance, what is? News of the Dragon Phoenix alliance spread across the entire primordial world at an insane speed. It wasn't until I sensed from afar the demonic aura of demon ancestor Luo Hu that I hurriedly had Kong Xian fly back to the dragon tribe. I had gotten a bit too cocky. Even after returning to the dragon palace, my heart was still pounding. Luo Hu's aura was still far too terrifying. I moved Kong Xian's immortal mountain to the sea at the northeast corner of the dragon domain. Then I went back to my garden deep in the plantation and carefully planted the fusang tree. I just realized the system's introduction could be translated. The divine fusang tree has a massive attraction for all avian creatures. It can connect to the 10,000 arrows tree. Once planted, even I felt a hint of mysterious gravity. While I was lost in thought, I noticed the fusang tree suddenly drooping. I looked up and was instantly speechless. Kong Xian, get down here. I turned my back for a second. And she actually climbed up the tree. I clearly told her to stay outside. Ma Master, I don't know what happened. When I was outside just now, I felt a deep throbbing in my heart. It drew me toward this place. Kong Xian explained guiltily. Master, I can feel that. This tree is of immense benefit to me. Can you let me stay on this tree? I was completely speechless. Get down here right now. The fusang tree hasn't fully grown yet. We'll talk about it later. Kong Xian lowered her head and came down obediently. Clearly, the temptation of the tree was enormous. Master, can I live in the dragon palace then? I froze. The dragon palace is underwater. For birds, that's not exactly natural. She's ignoring that just for the sake of the tree. Anyway, the system ensures absolute loyalty. Keeping her in the dragon palace is a good thing. Fine. Kong Xian was overjoyed and started tending the tree. I asked her about her background. Kong Xian's body visibly stiffened. Her expression soured. After a short silence, she spoke. Yuan Feng. He's a complete bastard. My status as his child means nothing to the Phoenix clan. My mother didn't belong to the Phoenix clan. She was just beautiful. So she became Yuan Feng's maid. But that old geezer Yuan Feng, even with so many women, still wouldn't let his own maid go. Kong Xian spoke through gritted teeth. I listened, completely stunned. I finally realized I'd picked up a gem. Kong Xian has the classic loser-to-hero protagonist backstory. Because her mother was a maid and her bloodline is impure, Yuan Feng despised her and kicked her out. Suffering cold stares from her kin, she could only train hard in the barren mountains, hoping to return one day and prove herself. Sadly, without resources, her progress was slow. I stroked my chin. No wonder Kong Xian wasn't in the Great Tribulation. She was exiled and in seclusion. In a dump like that. Who knows how long it would have taken her to finish her training. By the way, Kong Xian, do you want to get revenge on Yuan Feng? I smirked. Master. Of course I do. If I weren't weaker than that old man, I would have stormed the Phoenix clan long ago. Kong Xian said indignantly. I signaled her to stay calm and slowly laid out my plan. I originally wanted her to use her status to cause some trouble for the Phoenixes. Who knew her eyes would light up after hearing it? She volunteered eagerly. Master, say no more. That old Phoenix has a very messy private life. I caught him many times before I was kicked out. If I expose all of this... Kong Xian got more excited as she spoke. Master, let me handle this personally. I clicked my tongue in amazement. This old Phoenix knows how to party even better than us dragons. In my past life, many thought Yuan Feng was female. But in this prehistoric world, Yuan Feng is definitely a male. TSK, Yuan Feng. Don't blame me for exposing your messy private life. The corners of my mouth curled up. 3 days later, news of Kong Xian's surrender spread through the land. Yuan Feng, who had just finished a fight with Shi Qilin and was in seclusion to heal, knew nothing about the coming storm. Hey, did you hear? Recently, word about Yuan Feng has come out of the Dragon Clan. On an immortal mountain, several beings gathered to gossip. You say Yuan Feng likes cross-dressing? I knew that. Let me tell you, I have a niece married to the dragon ancestor. Kong Xian got drunk once, and my niece Qinger heard it from him. Who knew Yuan Feng, who always appears as a man, actually loves being a woman? Haha, with Yuan Feng's burly looks. That's disgusting. This kind of juicy gossip about a mighty being spread like wildfire across the world. Of course, I had Kong Xian spread these. Her identity as Yuan Feng's child made it the perfect endorsement. On Mount Yujin, Hong Jun almost had a chi deviation hearing this. His eyes nearly popped out. What the hell? Yuan Feng cross-dressing? All those maids were just a cover? Damn, this is getting spicy. Kong Xian even flew to the Qilin clan and circled above them. Listen up, Qilins. I have some secrets to tell you today. I hope you'll help me seek justice. The Qilins below were stunned. Kong Xian? You're a traitor who joined the dragons. What are you doing at our clan? Kong Xian flicked her tail. I'm no traitor. I just couldn't stand Yuan Feng's evil ways. So I turned to the light. I hope to save the Phoenixes from their misery. That old Yuan Feng is wicked. He seems to recruit many maids, but everyone's life is ruined by him. Kong Xian, Yuan Feng is your father. How could you say that about him? The Qilins below questioned. Every word I say is the truth. This is for the good of the Phoenix clan. Bye. Believe it or not. Kong Xian turned and left coolly. In the Qilin hall, Shi Qilin's laughter shook the roof. Yuan Feng, that guy. Ha 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 ha. The frustration of being tricked by the others vanished instantly. You say. This news has spread everywhere, ancestor? Everyone in the hall was snickering. Shi Qilin was thrilled. What else are they saying besides Kong Xian's words? Tell me everything. Ancestor, some say Yuan Feng transforms into a beauty. TSK, and some say he's too busy with maids to care for his own women. Yet those women still gave him so many children. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Shi Qilin spat out his tea. At the undying volcano, the Phoenix clan was in total chaos. They quickly woke Yuan Feng from his seclusion. Ancestor, something happened. The phoenixes cried out the moment they saw Yuan Feng. What's the matter? Why are you all so panicked? Has the Qilin clan attacked? Yuan Feng was annoyed. It's not the Qilins. It's Kong Xian, that guy joined the dragons. He's become their lapdog. Yuan Feng paused to think who Kong Xian was. He had too many offspring. Ancestor, Kong Xian is your son. The one you had with the maid. The one with impure blood? Yuan Feng finally remembered the child he'd exiled. He flew into a rage instantly. He joined the dragons? How dare he? Even a child with impure blood cannot be forgiven for joining the enemy. He thinks he's safe with the dragons? Even if he's my son, if he joined the dragons, show no mercy. Kill him. Yuan Feng seemed calm. But he was actually furious. Anything else? If not, leave. The phoenixes looked at each other. No one dared to speak. Kong Xian confirmed it himself at the Qilin clan. If it were true, how could they dare ask? Seeing them hesitate, Yuan Feng slammed the table. What's wrong? Speak up if you have something to say. Stop stalling, or I'll kill you all. Finally, someone stepped forward nervously. Ancestor, people outside are saying those maids were just a cover. That you recruited them on purpose. But you never actually touched them. And that you like several people at once. The person's voice grew fainter. Bang, the table before Yuan Feng shattered. A terrifying power filled the hall. Who said those things? I'll rip them apart. Trembling, the Phoenix Elder uttered a name. Ancestor. Kong Xian said these rumors. That bastard. Lies, all lies. Yuan Feng almost fainted from rage. He couldn't calm down even after deep breaths. Kong Xian is his own son, after all. Betraying the clan is one thing. But to spread such rumors. That bastard. How could I like men? What else did he say? Tell me everything. I want to see. Just what else this bastard could possibly come up with. The great elder hesitated to speak. Seeing this, the second elder stepped out. Ancestor, he also said you have so many women. And countless maids. There's no way you favor them all. Go on. Yuan Feng calmed down slightly, as it sounded plausible. He felt a bit more settled. Ancestor, he said with so many women. Most of them never get your attention. Yet many children are being born. He said none of those kids are actually yours. Some might even be your grandsons. But you don't know it. He says you're being cuckolded and don't even realize it. Yuan Feng's face turned pale green with rage. Ancestor. We'd never dare touch your women. The second elder knelt first to show loyalty. As Yuan Feng nodded, he suddenly noticed the great elder was trembling. He was breaking into a cold sweat. Yuan Feng's vision went black. Could that bastard be telling the truth? He turned his head stiffly. And saw one of his own sons was also trembling guiltily. Just like the great elder. Animals. You're all animals. Pfft, Yuan Feng spat out blood from fury. He had a chi deviation and collapsed. His old wounds flared up. And he fainted on the spot. Over at the Dragon Clan. It was as festive as New Year's. I was staring at the system's new options. Lost in thought. The Phoenix ancestor, enraged by his great elder and son, is about to transform into a demon phoenix. The war is about to become a fight between the phoenixes and Qilins. 1. Re-enter the Great Tribulation. Dragons now have the power to unify the world. Reward, heavenly attention and a pat from Hongjun. Plus a beautiful necklace. 2. Do nothing. Withdraw at the height of success. The Dragon Clan will eventually exit the Great Tribulation and escape their fate. Reward, and earn for the Dragon Ancestor. And the title Unfilial Son. Cultivation boosted to Great Golden Immortal Realm. 3. Distribute wealth. And do good deeds. Help the Dragon Ancestor clear his karma. And escape his doomed fate. Reward, 6 Paths Reincarnation Sword Art. Cultivation slightly increased. Seeing the first option, I almost cursed it out loud. Beautiful necklace? That's a mount collar. Re-entering means becoming Hongjun's mount. Only a fool would pick that. But this also proves the dragons have indeed escaped the tribulation. I don't know how the elders and son managed to piss off Yuan Feng so much. But it's likely Kong Xian's doing. As long as it benefits the dragons, it's fine. I'll have Kong Xian keep fueling the fire later. Options 2 and 3 are clear. The dragons are out. But the ancestor's sins still haunt him. He's still doomed to the tribulation. Option 2 rewards me with great golden immortal status. That power is very tempting. Should I pick 2? No. No, I'm a filial son. How could I bear the title of unfilial son? I shook my head firmly. Let my old man retire peacefully in prison, while I carry the flag of revival. Is there anyone more filial than me? System, I choose option 3. I forced myself not to look at option 2. My heart was bleeding. Father, for your sake. I gave up the chance to be a great golden immortal. Reward granted in advance. My bleeding heart was instantly revived. They actually gave the reward early. As soon as my mind touched the system, the 6 paths reincarnation sword art flooded into my brain. This sword art is terrifyingly powerful. My eyes lit up. This was worth it. It has 6 cycles, the 4 seasons, life, and death. It is crowd control and high damage. It's no less than a major divine ability. In the hands of a dragon who controls the weather, its power will multiply immensely. What a steal. But I don't have a suitable weapon right now. That won't do. I need to find one. I've outgrown my current treasures. The dragons are the richest in the world. There must be at least a few top-tier innate treasures, or even primordial treasures in the vault. Now that I'm the Dragon Lord, I can go check out the treasury. I called Longjiu to take me to the vault. I need to grab some things. Longjiu didn't ask questions and led the way. We didn't go far, we stopped behind my seclusion chamber. The vault was right under my feet. I was so close and never noticed it. The dragon ancestor used to train here. Just how greedy is this old dragon? Keeping the vault right under him. What a miser. Longjiu. Who told you the location of this vault? I asked suddenly. This is the ancestor's private vault. Your Highness. The ancestor didn't tell you for fear you'd waste it. Everyone else knows. Except for me. My forehead was covered in dark lines. I'm his actual son. Only the first 2 floors are accessible. But the real treasures are on the 3rd floor. It requires the ancestor's blood to enter. Longjiu led me through the secret passage. I was stunned as soon as I reached the 1st floor. The 1st floor chamber was just larger than a normal hall, filled with organized shelves. It didn't look like much. But the items on the shelves were piles of storage treasures. There were so many that some were just thrown on the floor. I knew very well that dragon storage artifacts had massive capacity. And they were definitely full. Even I couldn't help but gulp. No wonder the ancestor didn't tell me. The first 2 floors are open to anyone. I even had the illusion that I could buy the Phoenix clan with just this floor. The snacks you usually eat, Your Highness, come from this 1st floor. Longjiu gave a wry smile. The 2nd floor was similar to the 1st, but with higher grade storage treasures. Once here, I clearly felt a high-level array. It even interfered with my connection to the formation. As expected of the ancestor. Turns out the dragon's missing arrays were all used here in the vault. I'll be heading back now, Your Highness. After leading me to the 3rd floor entrance, Longjiu excused himself. I looked at the barrier. Blocking the way down, there were no blood slots. It was likely a bloodline recognition array. Looks like I need some blood from my dear father. Being such a filial child, I'm sure he'll be more than happy to help. I smiled and vanished into the chaos pearl. Old dragon, I'm here to see you. 1,000 years outside is like 1,000 years of consciousness inside the pearl. The ancestor's appearance hadn't changed. Hearing my voice, his massive body flew in front of me instantly. In human form, I wasn't even as big as one of his eyes. You brat. Let me out. The dragon ancestor suppressed his rage. Countless attempts over the years had taught him that he couldn't leave without my permission. Ao Xian, what do you really want? Let me out. I'll give you anything you want. The ancestor took a deep breath, trying to entice me. In his eyes, I was still the useless son. Even with some luck. Without his support, life would surely be hard. Dad, don't overthink it. Your son is currently in the dragon clan, standing above all other dragons. I lead the clan, and none dare disobey. Just stay comfortably in the Chaos Pearl. Whenever I encounter an unstoppable enemy, I'll be counting on you to buy me some time. Wind blasted from the ancestor's nostrils. Dad, I'm here on official business. Don't you want to know what the dragon clan is like now? I jumped back to gain distance and used chaos chi to form a projection. It showed me taking command. He smashed the projection into tiny pieces. Dad, why so angry? A filial child like me is hard to find even among the phoenixes or cheelants. Under your leadership, all my brothers died in battle. Only I care about our domain, putting the continuation of our bloodline first. You're not jealous of those beauties, are you? Don't worry, as long as you want them. Tens, hundreds, thousands, or millions. I'll get them all for you. Is there anyone more filial in the world? The ancestor's eyes were bloodshot. He stared at me through gritted teeth. You really are my good son. If I'd used this effort to unify the land, he would have been proud. But the reality was the exact opposite. What about the Phoenix and Cheelan clans? Yuan Feng and Shi are not easy to deal with. The Phoenix clan? I sent them a mountain of gifts. And now we're at peace. I smiled and shrugged. Gifts? Peace? In the ancestor's mind, he imagined the dragons begging for mercy. Fury erupted in his eyes. You brat. Die. Boom, a massive dragon tail slammed down. But I dodged to the other side instantly. Asterisk boom. Boom. Boom, asterisk he attacked frantically. But suppressed by the chaos space. And unable to use his treasures or dragon pearl. He couldn't even touch me. Old dragon, don't talk nonsense. I'm letting you rest in here. Safe from the fires of war. Just focus on training. A good son like me. There's no one else like Ao Xian in all the land. You have the nerve to say that. Leading the dragons to be phoenix lapdogs. I continued to fuel the fire. Dad. A couple of days ago. Didn't I take some things from the Chaos Pearl? I gave all of that to Kong Xian. You probably don't know who she is. She's Yuan Feng's actual child. When we circled above the undying volcano, the phoenixes were very welcoming. The ancestor was too angry to speak. He spat out a huge mouthful of blood, staining the chaos space. He'd actually been given internal injuries by my taunting. A second later, I instantly collected all the blood he spat. I waved my hand to gather it all, and appeared right in front of him. I smiled and waved, proudly showing off my spoils. Father, I'm a bit short on cash lately. I'll take over the vault for you. With that, I left the Chaos Pearl, leaving the ancestor to roar inside. What's with the screaming? He should be happy to have such a good kid. I returned to the vault smiling, and smeared the blood on the barrier. As expected, a gap opened up. Dragon Vault, 3rd floor. Here I come. Stepping into the passage. Night pearls lit up one by one. The entire tunnel was paved with spirit-infused jade. Following the path, I pushed open a door and officially entered the 3rd floor. My God, it's even bigger than the first two. Not only was the space massive, but it was also packed to the brim. This floor was full of acquired treasures. My eyes went wide. Thousands of acquired treasures were buried on the shelves, with most just tossed on the floor, leaving only narrow paths between them. I scanned the area. In the other compartments were actually all kinds of 100,000-year-old spirit herbs. I've underestimated the Dragon Clan. With these resources, they could mass-produce immortals. What a waste to leave them here. Come to Papa. I specifically picked top-grade herbs for healing and cultivation, frantically tossing them into the Chaos Pearl. I filled 2 small mountains worth. Yet I hadn't even taken 1% of the vault. Seeing that it was enough, I continued down the central stairs. Third floor is acquired items. So the fourth must be innate. At the fourth floor, the view suddenly opened up. It was extremely magnificent. There were 4 doors around me. Labeled treasures, miscellaneous/herbs, and scriptures. I pushed open the northern door to scriptures. And froze instantly. I thought it was a library. But it was actually stone tablets carved with laws. To have these things. Ancestor, how could you seal them down here? Tablets with law energy are top tier for arrays. Or meditation. Here, they were just being used as lamps. Some even still had dirt on them. Clearly recently excavated. That guy ancestor. He couldn't have brought them back. Just because they glow, right? I couldn't help but complain. I turned and left. Walking straight into the treasure hall. Spirit rain paved the floor. And spirit wood formed the walls. Even the wall decorations were at least acquired treasures. But what broke me was the collection inside. I'm done. You have so many innate treasures. And you kept them all here? When fighting the Phoenix and Chelan clans, why didn't you bring me? I was utterly speechless. There were at least 50 famous innate treasures here. The lamp on the left was the 8 Desolations Palace lamp. On the right was the jade glazed lamp. 2 of the 3 primeval lamps were right here. Scattered about were the azure lotus banner, the red hydrangea, the 4 symbols tower, and more. So, it turns out when Hong Jun distributed treasures, he actually robbed the dragon clan. Looking at all these innate treasures, I didn't know what to do for a moment. What a wonderful problem to have. Shaking my head helplessly, I swept up all the innate treasures and stuffed them into the Chaos Pearl. Keeping them in the vault isn't as safe as carrying them with me. I'm truly doing this out of loyalty to the clan. Why doesn't anyone understand? Leaving the looted 4th floor, I felt a heavier burden on my shoulders. I went down the stairs to the 5th floor. It was empty, with only dense array patterns emitting light. That's the dragon ancestor seal. Seeing the treasure floating in the center, I was startled. The treasure that stabilizes the clan's fortune was being used as the array core. Clan fortune is profound and mysterious. It affects the entire clan's fate. It must not be touched. Fine, I'll leave some room for future relations. I won't take the dragon ancestor seal. Or that old man will try to kill me when he gets out. Having identified it as the seal, and seeing the 5th floor had nothing else, I turned back. Meanwhile, inside the Chaos Pearl, seeing his family assets flying about, the ancestor was going crazy. You brat. Get out here. Put all these things back. You even dared to take the innate treasures? What do you take me for? You brat, taking these to give to the phoenixes? You're going to bankrupt the dragon clan sooner or later. After a long cry, the ancestor went silent. A mighty power of the 3 realms. The dragon ancestor actually fainted from rage. The ancestor can't handle pressure. Looks like I'll have to nourish him later. Ding. Host is now the richest rich 2nd generation. How can you not have a maid by your side? Please choose. 1. Recruit a goddess to be your maid. Choices include Manhwa, Queen Mother of the West, Shihi, etc. Reward, Crimson Firmament Sword, Innate Treasure, Sword of the Earth. 2. Only children choose, adults want them all. Recruit all high-tier beauties. Any beauty with a score over 90 will trigger a reward settlement once recruited. Rewards range from cultivation boosts to bloodline upgrades. Each woman provides a different reward. Chance to get special rewards. 3. You're a noble dragon prince, don't indulge in female charms. Recruit male attendants instead. Settlement for each male recruited. Rewards are random, mostly special rewards. Title, Prehistoric Loner. Skill, 100% chance of being friend-zoned. I just returned to my new courtyard when another system option triggered. Good thing I opened the vault. If I hadn't gotten those items, I'd have missed another reward. I made my choice decisively. But regarding the system standards, I wasn't quite sure. System, what's the standard for a 90 score? Option complete. System function unlocked. Ability to scan the appearance score of beings. I noticed the system said beings, not just men or women. System, can this test scores for men too? Yes. I was instantly interested. System, what's my score? Host's appearance, 82 points. I'm this handsome and I didn't hit 90? I was stunned. I turned to look at Kong Xian training in the courtyard. System, what's Kong Xian's score? 74 points. I instantly breathed a sigh of relief. I looked at Kong Xian with sympathy. TSK, 8 points lower than me. Even with an upgraded bloodline, I only have 82. This makes me more curious about 90-plus women. Nuwa should surely score 90. The Queen Mother of the West would be close too. I wonder if the Sanshao sisters qualify. Oh, Shihi should definitely be one. I suddenly thought of the goddess Shihi. I even know where she lives. Since the system gave me this option, I'll go to the lunar star to find her. If she fits, I'll recruit her. The system just gave me the Fusang tree, so she won't refuse. Decision made, I went over and woke Kong Xian. We're going on a long trip. Shihi lives far away on the lunar star. Luckily, Kong Xian is extremely fast. We arrived in a few days. Approaching the pale blue star, I felt my cultivation bottleneck beginning to throb, close to a breakthrough. It's resonating with the Yin energy on the lunar star. Understanding why, I patted Kong Xian's head and told her to land. This really is a perfect star for seclusion. I looked around. Kong Xian, traveling this far for the first time, looked like she'd never seen the world. Now that we're here, how do we find Shihi? I stroked my chin. Kong Xian volunteered. Master, just leave it to me. She took a deep breath and shouted at the top of her lungs, Goddess Shihi. My master is here to take you home. Shut it. I scolded with a smile. From spreading Yuan Feng's gossip, she'd developed quite a thick skin. She did this without any hesitation. Where did this brat come from? Shouting like that on my lunar star? A cold yet gentle voice was heard, entering the ears like heavenly music, making one feel refreshed. Kong Xian's eyes widened in disbelief. Master, have you seen the goddess before? I snapped out of it, hand on my sword, posing like a refined gentleman. Greeting for the first time. I am the son of the dragon ancestor, Ao Xian, current lord of the dragons. However, in Shihi's eyes, my familiar look was clearly that of a fake, elegant playboy. I've heard of you. Lately, the dragons have been making quite a name for themselves. Shihi gave a charming, non-committal smile. Living on the lunar star, her news wasn't outdated at all. But calling yourself the Dragon Lord, isn't it a bit early? Isn't the ancestor still in seclusion? He is indeed in seclusion. Though, I've locked him in the Chaos Pearl. I didn't explain further. He's not here right now, is he? He's already handed the Dragon Vault over to me. So, what does the young lord want with me? The tribulation has nothing to do with me. Of course it's not about the tribulation. It's just, you see, as the lord of the dragon clan, traveling without a maid by my side feels a bit beneath my status. So, I'd like you to be my maid. I wonder what you think. I stated my goal directly. Kong Xian secretly gave a thumbs up. Expert. If it were anyone else, he would have turned and left already. But thanks to my high 82 score, she actually held back her anger. The young lord must be joking. Everyone knows that recently the dragons recruited countless beauties to the palace. Was that not the young lord's order? Come back with me and you'll see if it was. You are different from them. By the way, I recently acquired a treasure called the Fusang tree. I looked Shihi in the eyes. I wonder if you'd like it. With a wave of my hand, Shihi gave a polite, charming smile. Even living on the lunar star, her news wasn't outdated in the slightest. But calling yourself the lord of the dragon clan, isn't it a bit early? Isn't the dragon ancestor still in seclusion? He is indeed in seclusion. Though I locked him in the Chaos Pearl. I didn't explain further. The dragon ancestor isn't here right now, is he? He's even handed the dragon vault over to me. Then what business do you have with me, young master? The Great Tribulation has nothing to do with me. Of course it's not about the Great Tribulation. It's just, you see, as the dignified lord of the dragon clan, traveling without a maid by my side is a bit beneath my status. So, I'd like to take you as my maid. What do you think? I stated my purpose straightforwardly. Kong Xian secretly gave a thumbs up, calling me a pro. If it were anyone else, he would have turned and left long ago. But thanks to my high appearance score of 82, I actually made her hold back her anger. You must be joking, young master. Who doesn't know that recently the dragon clan took countless beauties into the palace? Was that not your order? If you come back with me, you'll see for yourself. You are different from them. By the way, I recently obtained a treasure called the Fusang tree. I stared into Shihi's eyes. I wonder if you'd like it. With a wave of my hand, the Fusang tree appeared right between the two of them. The divine Fusang tree. Shiha was completely shocked. Such a supreme divine tree that connects the three realms and transforms spiritual energy is actually in my hands. Her expression clearly changed. Somewhere in the unseen world, the Fusang tree exuded a fatal temptation to her, making her feel a deep desire to possess it from the bottom of her soul. As if this item was destined to belong to her. If it's just being a maid isn't selling myself. If I can trade it for the Fusang tree. She has started to hesitate. If you agree to this condition, this is also yours. A piece of light silk appeared in my hand. This is a connate spiritual treasure. Shiha widened her eyes in disbelief. Casually taking out a connate spiritual treasure? Is the dragon clan's treasury really this extravagant? Are you really giving it to me? Of course. Even if you refuse, it's yours. If you become my maid, you won't be short of suitable connate spiritual treasures. As for acquired spiritual treasures, you can have as many as you want. I've already said it. The dragon clan's treasury belongs to me. Kong Xian silently chimed in from the side, TCH. Master is really good to you. You have no idea. Back when he subdued me, he didn't give me a single connate spiritual treasure. Giving you one right after meeting you shows how much he values you. Shiha wavered even more. Since she started cultivating, she hadn't had a single connate spiritual treasure. But we are currently in the midst of a calamity. I don't want to get dragged into the calamity because of the dragon clan. With my current cultivation base, I won't survive the calamity. He shook his head. What's there to be afraid of? The dragon clan has already withdrawn from the calamity. Would being my master's maid still affect you? Kong Xian gave a perfect assist. But what about the Phoenix and Qilin clans? I am Yuan Fang's biological son. And even I am with the dragon clan. What are you afraid of? Kong Xian sneered coldly. He knew I had my eyes on Shiha. So he treated her completely like a sworn brother, showing no mercy at all. Alright, Kong Xian, don't push her too hard. This kind of thing has to be voluntary. I smiled to ease the tension. If you are worried, we can set a time frame. How about this, until the calamity ends? You are free to stay or leave. I won't stop you. And after the calamity ends, I will give you another chance to choose whether or not you want to be my maid. Are you satisfied with this? Kong Xian and Shiha widened their eyes at the same time. The conditions were way too lenient. It was practically letting her take the items for free and run. Do you mean everything you just said? Of course. However, if you agree to be my maid, you cannot leave for the first 100 years. You can't just run off the moment I give you the items. Even if she couldn't leave for the first 100 years. This was still extremely generous. Then the connate spiritual treasure. I smiled. She took the bait. I'll give you this connate spiritual treasure. And I'll give you another one in 100 years. The Fusang tree is yours for 100 years. But if you want to leave. She blushed slightly. After all, it was her first time being someone's maid. Wait, I have one more condition. Speak. I hope you won't do anything too out of line to me. Otherwise, I will leave immediately. I raised an eyebrow. A forced relationship isn't sweet. Feelings require mutual consent. You can rest assured about that. My little wifey. Hearing this title, Shiha's face instantly turned bright red. She muttered, "Who is yours? From now on, call me young master." Yes, young master. Ding. Congratulations to the host for completing the choice, subdue Shiha. Obtain special reward, Divine Sword Taichu. The Divine Sword Taichu signifies the host taking this first step. This sword is presented as a memorial. Hearing the system prompt, I was very delighted. But seeing the note at the end made me feel helpless. What's there to commemorate about taking in a maid? Making it seem like I'll only ever take in one maid in my entire life. Such a small perspective. Trash system. But when I clearly read the description of the Taichu sword, my eyes instantly widened. The divine sword Taichu needs to be nourished. I reached out and beckoned. A 3-foot 3-inch cyan longsword flew over from under the fusang tree. When I got this sword a year ago, I was startled. The system said, "This was the companion spiritual treasure of my soul after crossing over. Although it's only a connate spiritual treasure right now, I could feel it carried an aura similar to the chaos bead. It was highly likely an unfully grown chaos treasure. So I've been nourishing it this entire year. Besides, for some unknown reason, my mana unexpectedly formed a spontaneous cycle within my body. Now, whether I'm eating, sleeping, or walking, I'm cultivating automatically on AFK mode. Who even cultivates manually anymore?" Holding the Taichu sword in hand, I walked up to the fusang tree, which was over 2 meters tall. A gust of spring breeze blew past. I practiced swordplay under the tree. The 4 seasons of spring, summer, autumn, and winter cycled through. Rain and snow fluttered about. The small courtyard was actually enacting a miracle of reincarnation along with my swordplay. Shiha scooped up a pile of fallen snow in astonishment, and didn't ask until I sheathed my sword. "Young master, have you mastered your swordplay?" "That's right." I nodded happily. The 6 paths of reincarnation swordplay has finally reached the entry level. Although it can only evolve the 4 seasons right now, and I still can't achieve the cycle of life and death. I have never seen this swordplay of yours. I've never even heard of it in the Dragon Clan. Did you create it yourself? Shiha was curious. No, I learned it from another master. I casually denied it. I don't flex when I'm unsure of the background. Ding. The Dragon Clan has already withdrawn from the Great Calamity. But this does not mean that the Dragon Clan should just lock themselves away behind closed doors. As a transmigrator, 1. You choose to maintain the Dragon Clan's current state and make no changes. Defending the Dragon Palace. Reward, bloodline enhancement. 2. Initiate the Dragon Clan's Great Revolution plan. Overthrowing the bloodline-based class system. Reward, revolutionary title. Reward, bloodline nullification. Reward, achievement I overthrew myself. 3. Initiate the Great East Sea development plan. Finding the Primordial Island. Reward, pioneer title. Reward, 9-turn mysterious art. Another choice triggered. The rewards this time stepped up to a whole new level. Option 1 isn't even enough to fill the gaps between my teeth. Option 2 is straight up absurd. Overthrowing the bloodline theory? I have the strongest bloodline in the Dragon Clan. This is asking me to kill myself. Only option 3 is reliable. Not only does it offer a normal title, it also provides a top-tier body tempering technique, the 9-turn mysterious art. The Dragon Clan already possesses formidable physical bodies. If I cultivate this art, I'm afraid even that group of muscle-bound, simple-minded Wu clan members will have to bow down in defeat. Moreover, at this point in time, the Primordial Island hasn't been discovered yet. It's absolutely covered in treasures. Perfect for filling up the treasury. I decisively made my choice in my mind. Long Jiao, who was outside the door, answered and entered. Shiha, blushing, hid in the room. She was too embarrassed to be seen by outsiders in her maid outfit. "Your Highness, what are your orders?" "Bring me the map of the East Sea. I have something to discuss with you." The location was already imprinted in my mind. "Long Jiao, come closer." I compared it to the map, getting ready to circle the location of the Primordial Island. "Long Jiao, go find some people with high cultivation. Tomorrow, this young master is taking you somewhere." I marked the map. Then I handed the map to Long Jiao and told him to have Ao Guang scout ahead. Even though we have already withdrawn from the Great Calamity, this matter is of grave importance. You must be careful. Hearing my special instructions, Long Jiao's expression turned solemn. He became alert in his heart. Ao Guang, the future Dragon King of the East Sea, was currently one of my 9 dragon guards. The next day, I took Long Jiao and 1,000 elite soldiers to rush toward the Primordial Mountain. Tens of thousands of miles east of the Dragon Palace were 3 completely ordinary small hills arranged in a character formation, no more than a few hundred meters high, and with barely any spiritual energy. Yet today, they attracted over 1,000 Dragon Clan members. Ao Guang, who was guarding the perimeter, revealed his figure and bowed to me. Your Highness. In the location you circled on the map, we didn't find anything. Just these 3 completely ordinary small hills. This was all within my expectations. These are the legendary 3 immortal islands of Punlai. They are all protected by Khanate restrictions. How could they be discovered in just one day? Longjiao, Ao Guang. Just the 2 of you follow me. Have the rest of the men stand guard outside. The system had already marked the exact location of the Punlai immortal island for me. It was exactly these completely ordinary small hills beneath our feet. Following the system's prompt, I channeled my mana to resonate with the Khanate restrictions. A portal formed purely of spiritual energy slowly opened in front of me. Longjiao and Ao Guang watched this scene in shock. Rich spiritual energy rushed at our faces from behind the portal. Not inferior to the Dragon Clan's treasury at all. Your Highness, is this the Punlai immortal island you mentioned? Ao Guang swallowed hard. They hadn't even fully entered yet. And the spiritual energy was already this terrifying. If he were to cultivate here, he would definitely break through within 100 years. Longjiao also grew excited. He had been stuck at the Golden Immortal Realm for way too long. Don't just stand out there in a daze. Let's go inside first. I was equally unable to hide my excitement. I took the lead and stepped through the portal. It was as if we had entered another world. The scene before us gradually became clear. It was actually a towering mountain peak reaching into the clouds. It was at least 10,000 meters high. The spiritual energy was so dense that even the area under the Fusang tree couldn't compare. As soon as I entered, my cultivation boundary bottleneck began to loosen. This trip was definitely worth it. Is that Fuyun grass? Longjiao shouted in surprise. And it's a 1,000,000-year-old one at that. I looked around. And as far as the eye could see, the ground was covered with colorful spiritual herbs. If even something as worthless as Fuyun grass could grow for 1,000,000 years, how overpowered would the truly precious spiritual herbs be? I looked at the surrounding trees. Sure enough, most of them were Khanate spiritual roots. Your Highness, I'm afraid to take a step. Ao Guang smiled bitterly. The spiritual herbs on the ground were like weeds. Even the worst ones were 100,000 years old. 1,000,000-year-old ones were everywhere. Although the Dragon Clan's treasury had a lot of items, they were all stored away in storage artifacts. It was nowhere near as shocking as this wild overgrowth everywhere. The 2 of them just froze in place. I smiled and shook my head, not intending to coax them. I walked straight toward the top of the mountain. I was carrying more than half of the Dragon Clan's wealth with me. I was filthy rich. If I trample some, so be it. As soon as I entered the Immortal Mountain, I felt something at the summit calling out to me. In order to not miss out on good stuff along the way, I chose not to fly. There are no roads on Punlai Immortal Mountain. Where Ao Xian walks, a road is formed. I grinned and smiled. Yulin fruit, this tastes pretty good. Take it all. Fire snake grass, a fire attribute spiritual herb. Rarely seen over 1,000,000 years old. It seems to be developing sentience. Then never mind. I bypassed that stalk of fire snake grass. As if sensing something, that little grass actually bowed to me. Although spiritual herbs that are about to gain consciousness are precious, I didn't need it. When I reached halfway up the mountain, a stream appeared before my eyes. The spiritual energy contained in the stream rivaled 10,000-year-old spiritual herbs. The closer to the source, the denser it became. With a slight modification, it could produce top-tier spiritual liquid. However, I still didn't care for it. After all, the treasures in the Chaos Bead were better. I walked all the way to the top of the mountain. I finally saw the source of the stream. One look at it and even I couldn't hold back. My eyes widened, showing a look as if I had never seen the world. Looking out, there was a circular pool at the summit. It was clearly the source of the stream. And what shocked me was the white lotus flower in the pool water. A pool full of white lotuses was mind-blowing. And what was causing the resonance in me was the white lotus pedestal right in the center of the pool. Aside from the color, its appearance was exactly the same as the 12th grade world-destroying black lotus. Its identity was obvious. The 12th grade world-cleansing white lotus. To think that the 12th grade world-cleansing white lotus was actually here. This was the mortal enemy of the 12th grade world-destroying black lotus. The world-cleansing White Lotus could stabilize the primordial spirit and purify all curses, toxins, and even inner demons. Not only could it be used as a treasure to suppress a clan's destiny, the lotus pedestal itself was also a supreme connate defensive treasure. Not to mention, what lay before me wasn't just a lotus pedestal, but also lotus seeds and lotus roots. It was a complete stock of the world-cleansing White Lotus. This trip to the Punlai Immortal Mountain was too worth it. Even Hongjun would be tempted if he came here, right? Good thing I came early. However, with my current cultivation base, it would take a lot of time to refine it. I'll leave it here to let it grow for a while longer. I'll come back and take it away once my cultivation improves. I approached and activated the power of the formation to enclose the world cleansing White Lotus to protect it. But just as I activated the formation, an unexpected change occurred. 2 streaks of light flew out from the White Lotus and rushed straight toward me. They instantly drilled into my body. As I briefly sensed them, I immediately grinned from ear to ear. To think there was an unexpected bonus. One of the 2 streaks of light was a fragment of the jade butterfly of good fortune. The other one was actually a fragment of the heaven-cleaving axe. The lotus seed of the chaos green lotus fell into Punlai. And to think it brought along these 2 fragments of supreme treasures related to Pangu. Although they were just fragments, it was truly a pleasant surprise. Especially the jade butterfly fragment, which could definitely help me comprehend the Tao. This trip has been extremely fruitful. After confirming there were no other fortuitous encounters, I turned around and headed down the mountain. I'll just leave the rest of the places for my subordinates to explore. Long Jiao and Ao Guang hadn't even budged from the bottom of the mountain. I smiled and didn't say a word. I brought them out of Punlai. After leaving some men behind to guard it, we returned to the grand hall of the dragon clan. The dragons gathered once more. After the previous events, everyone in the dragon clan was utterly convinced by me. Those who weren't convinced were all thrown into the demon prison. Even if I went around squandering the treasury, no one would dare utter a word of complaint. It's just that for this gathering, they thought I had come up with some new way to squander money. After taking my seat, the dragons clamored over one another to ask, "Your Highness, may we ask what you have called us here for?" Relax, calling you here naturally involves a great matter concerning the development of the dragon clan. I announced the matter of the Punlai Immortal Island to the public. The main hall instantly exploded into an uproar. "Your Highness, is everything you said true?" "Of course. Would His Highness lie to us?" Ao Guang retorted back, "Everyone. What His Highness said is what we saw with our own eyes. The Immortal Mountain is truly covered in treasures." Upon receiving confirmation, the crowd grew even more excited. This is our dragon clan's fortuitous encounter. With this, won't the dragon clan's domination over the prehistoric world be just around the corner? Everyone, that treasure mountain is much more than just that. I smiled and interrupted them. Right now, the spiritual herbs on the mountain are growing chaotically. There is no order. And they are interfering with each other. If we reorganize them, the Punlai Immortal Mountain will provide us with an endless supply of spiritual herbs. Although the dragon's enthusiasm was soaring, they looked thoroughly confused. A bunch of dragons who only knew how to fight. What the hell did they know about production? If I am to develop Punlai, it naturally requires focusing on sustainable development. I have already explained the details to Ao Guang. Next, all you need to do is provide your own personnel. Aside from the Immortal Mountain, I also have arrangements for the sea areas surrounding it. I'm calling this the Great Eastern Development Plan. Only developing Punlai would draw too much attention. If it was targeted by big shots like Hongjun, or by opportunistic robbers, developing the surrounding sea areas together would serve as a smokescreen and buy time. By the time someone gets jealous and comes to steal it, I'll have long since packed up and left. Choice completed. Distributing rewards. Just as I handed down the assignments, the system prompt popped up. A surge of power suddenly poured into my body, actually forcefully prying open my cultivation bottleneck. My expression changed. Ignoring everyone in the hall, I immediately flashed into the secret room. Why was the body tempering technique distributed directly? Doesn't it require me to claim it? I had no energy to complain. The system's power operated spontaneously within my body. I could only focus my mind on breaking through. The moment the 9-turn mysterious art was distributed, I unexpectedly grasped the level of the first turn right away. The 9-turn mysterious art was different from ordinary cultivation techniques. It didn't cultivate the primordial spirit, only the physical body. When cultivated to its extreme, its sheer brute force could reshape heaven and earth. It was an authentic path to proving the Tao through strength. The majestic power rampaged through my body, as if restructuring it, making my physical structure even more perfect. I already had the direct lineage of the ancestral dragon. After being enhanced by the 9-turn mysterious art, my physical strength could even surpass the future Wu clan. I took out a massive amount of spiritual herbs and piled them around me. Billowing spiritual energy enveloped my entire body. 9-turn mysterious art. First turn, break. In just one day, relying on my powerful foundation, I completed the first turn. Under the driving force of the system's power, the technique operated on its own, instantly blasting open the door to the second turn. The surge in power brought about a colossal consumption of spiritual energy. My body was like a black hole, madly devouring the surrounding spiritual energy. This suction force directly burst out of the secret room. Even with the connate spiritual ginseng in the courtyard, and the blessing of the Fusang tree, it could barely sustain the consumption. However, the breakthrough was not over yet. The 9-turn mysterious arts. Second turn drove my original cultivation base. My chi condensation realm also advanced by leaps and bounds. I broke straight through from the mid-stage golden immortal to the late stage. Although I had been accumulating for 1,000 years. And even without this reward, 10 years of ascetic cultivation would have been enough to break through. I felt like I still hadn't reached my limit. Inside the secret room, the technique was circulating at top speed. I frantically devoured the torrent of spiritual herbs. The mountain of spiritual herbs rapidly disappeared, and I subconsciously took out more. At the same time, monstrous waves surged across the East Sea. A massive whirlpool formed on the calm surface of the sea. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth converged like gathering storm clouds, drawing in countless dark clouds. All spiritual energy was converging in my direction. A terrifying pressure descended upon all the members of the dragon clan. Is His Highness breaking through? This aura is actually this powerful. It's almost like seeing the ancestral dragon himself. His Highness is not only unparalleled in strategy, even his talent and strength are top tier. Long Jiao and the other members of the 9 dragon guards were shocked to the core. Previously, when I established my authority in the Grand Hall, they had experienced the pressure of my bloodline. But this time it was even stronger. And its range was wider. The phenomenon over the East Sea lasted for a full 100 years. 100 years later, the phenomenon gradually dispersed. I finally ended this sudden closed-door cultivation. During my seclusion, I had no perception of the outside world. It felt as if I had just taken a nap. Golden Immortal Realm, consummation. I didn't expect to reach the consummation stage in just 100 years. It saved me so much effort. I delightedly sensed the changes within my body. Going from late-stage Golden Immortal to great consummation in 100 years. I am definitely not a fraud. If it weren't for my cheats, it would have been absolutely impossible to achieve this level of strength. Strength is one's eternal confidence. Not only had my cultivation base increased, but the 9-turn mysterious art had also stabilized at the second turn. My physical strength had far surpassed that of dragons at the same realm. My physical body was already invincible in the same realm. And with the blessing of the mysterious art, relying solely on raw physical strength, I was enough to face head-on a mid-stage Tai Golden Immortal of the Dragon Clan. If I were to face the Phoenix Clan, the Qilin Clan, or an early-stage Tai Golden Immortal of other Khanate lifeforms, going all out, they would absolutely not be my match. If I used the Taichu sword and the 6 paths of reincarnation swordplay, I could even fight a mid-stage Tai Golden Immortal head-on. Rounding it up, calling myself a mid-stage Tai Golden Immortal would not be an exaggeration at all. Moreover, the 9-turn mysterious art. This was the cultivation technique of the Wu clan in the prehistoric world. But right now, I, an outsider, had cultivated it to the level of the second turn. If I ever met the Wu clan, wouldn't I be treated as one of their own? I chuckled softly, feeling like I was overthinking it. But then again, I walked over and patted Kong Xian's shoulder. Little Feng Feng. The cultivation resources the Dragon Clan provides you are more than enough. You can't slack off, got it? Look at me. I've cultivated from mid-stage golden immortal to late stage. Yet you are still at the late stage. This won't do. Kong Xian's mouth twitched. Who wants to compare with a monster like you? Even with maxed out resources. Who could jump an entire realm in 100 years? He was simply a freak of nature. However, thinking of the terrifying phenomenon during my breakthrough, and the massive amount of resources provided by the Dragon Clan, Kong Xian looked at me affectionately. Your Highness, may I go back and continue cultivating? I definitely won't hold you back. Watching Kong Xian turn to leave, my gaze fell back onto Shiha. Shiha blushed, knowing what I was thinking. She couldn't help but roll her eyes at me. I'll change into it later. Long Jiu was also outside. As soon as he saw me, Long Jiu immediately bowed in excitement, his eyes practically sparkling with light. Your Highness, you have finally ended your seclusion. Tell me, how is the execution of the Great Eastern Development Plan going? I signaled Long Jiu to rise. Your Highness, sensing that you had ended your seclusion, everyone has already gathered in the Grand Hall. Please move to the Grand Hall, Your Highness. I nodded. I didn't expect the members of the Dragon Clan to assemble this quickly. Entering the Grand Hall, the reaction of all the dragons was identical to Long Jiu's. Among the 9 dragon guards, Ao Guang and Long Jiu were at the very front. The two of them were the primary persons in charge of the Great Eastern Development Plan. Greetings, Your Highness. The dragons in the hall all saluted together. Their eyes were filled with absolute submission when they looked at me. Congratulations on your successful breakthrough, Your Highness. Your Highness has unparalleled divine might. Ao Guang took the lead in offering congratulations. Since I had just broken through, the aura of a great consummation golden immortal hadn't settled yet. The dragons present chimed in, Congratulations, Your Highness, on breaking through and leaving seclusion. With Your Highness in the Dragon Clan, it is truly a blessing for our clan. I nodded. Listening to these compliments actually felt pretty good. After they finished speaking, I finally asked about the progress of the Great Eastern Development. My sudden closed-door cultivation had taken 110 years. Although the modifications to Punlai Mountain hadn't shown major results yet. With the massive numbers of the Dragon Clan, the harvest from gathering spiritual herbs was absolutely substantial. Your Highness, you are truly too wise. Your Highness, the Great Eastern Development Plan is simply a monumental feat in the history of the Dragon Clan. Whenever this was mentioned, the dragons grew even more excited. They had all reaped enormous benefits from it. Compared to the era under the ancestral dragon's rule, it was like night and day. Originally, they were all broke. But now, every single one of them was filthy rich. Over the past 100 years, every member of the Dragon Clan had broken through a minor realm on average. The overall strength of the clan had directly stepped up a level. At home, they would educate their children every day, telling them to remember my kindness. If it weren't for my plan, how would the younger generation ever have the chance to consume 10,000-year spiritual herbs? So now, they were all hyped up like they were on steroids, pledging their loyalty to me. After hearing enough, I understood the results. From the beginning, I never intended to hoard those resources all to myself. Aside from rare treasures, I distributed the rest to boost our overall strength. In my eyes, these weren't even a drop in the bucket compared to the ancestral dragon's treasury. But in the eyes of the other dragons, this was a massive blessing from heaven. The ancestral dragon was an absolute miser. He stuffed all the treasures into his treasury. Although the Dragon Clan was wealthy, it was his wealth alone. By generously distributing the resources with a wave of my hand, I instantly won over a massive amount of support. Right now in the Dragon Clan, there's even an interesting nursery rhyme circulating. Ao Guang said with a smile. What is it? I asked, somewhat curious. Ao Guang chanted out loud in the hall, hanging out with the ancestral dragon. We go hungry 3 meals a day. Nothing to eat but small steel rods. Working for His Highness, spiritual herbs every meal. We work hard, earn well, and become rich men. I smiled as I watched the performance in the hall. There was no need to say much today. Knowing the results of the plan was enough. Who wouldn't love a boss who actually hands out money? Just then, a system choice appeared once again. The host has currently led the Dragon Clan out of the Dragonhan Great Calamity. You've avoided one great calamity. But you cannot avoid the second and third ones. Thus, you decide, 1. Maintain the status quo. The Lich Great Calamity will still take a very long time to arrive. Choose to do nothing. Reward, cultivation speed doubled. Cultivate hard. And then crush everything. 2. Play it safe. You decide to find the demon clan ahead of time and lay out a plan in secret. System suggestion, you've already subdued Shiha. Wouldn't it be great to take in Dijun as well? Reward, cultivation level increased. Bloodline enhanced. Deepen destiny with the demon clan. 3. Play it safe. You decide to find the Wu clan ahead of time and lay out a plan in secret. Perhaps with your powerful physical body. You are actually an undercover agent planted in the Dragon clan by the Wu clan. Reward, the big boy single/swordplay divine ability, severing yin and yang. Good heavens, another choice. I was getting a bit tired of listening to the flattery. This choice instantly refreshed my spirit. Since it was related to the subsequent great calamities, I needed to be careful. I forced myself to calm down. The great calamities in the prehistoric world were not set in stone. Originally, the 3 clans fell into decline after the Dragonhan Great Calamity, which provided the prerequisite for the rise of the Liches. Calamities were like heaven's way of cleansing. The stronger the faction, the harder it was to survive. If I didn't choose well, there would be huge trouble. So when I saw the first option, I was genuinely tempted. The Lich Great Calamity was still a long way off. With doubled cultivation speed, I would at least be a great firmament golden immortal by then. Option 2, rallying the demon clan, was out of the question. The demon clan's factions were complex. Neither Dijun nor Taiyu were fools. The Dragon clan was still the #1 faction. In the future, if the demon clan wanted to establish the demon court, they would inevitably want to make a move against the Dragon clan. Looking at option 3, I truly hesitated. That was a nuclear bomb level big boy. Hee. And this option was genuinely actionable. Since I was cultivating the 9-turn mysterious art, using this connection to bridge the gap with the Wu clan would definitely yield twice the result with half the effort. It just so happened that I also wanted to see if the straightforward Wu clan members were really that hard-headed. Silly guys, plus the 2 goddesses Xianming and Hutu. I was extremely curious about their appearances. Having made up my mind, I left the grand hall. We respectfully send off your highness. Under everyone's watchful eyes, I claimed the system's reward. Taking Kongxian, I headed straight for Mount Buzhou. Mount Buzhou, the current ancestral land of the Wu clan. To find the Wu clan, one naturally had to go straight to the point, striking directly at their core. This is Mount Buzhou? Kongxian was dumbfounded. How could the spiritual energy here be this dense? Compared to Mount Buzhou, his immortal mountain was simply a barren wasteland. However, because of the existence of the Fusang tree, the spiritual energy in my courtyard was only slightly inferior to this. Once the Fusang tree matures, it will likely far surpass Mount Buzhou. Before Kongxian even landed, the space in front of him rippled slightly. A figure blurred for a moment, looking at us warily. Ao Xian of the Dragon clan. And Kongxian. This is our Wu clan's territory. Please leave. Dijiang frowned. He transformed into a human form to face me. The Dragon clan was currently in the limelight in the prehistoric world. Not long ago, when Kongxian took me roaming around the prehistoric world, we sometimes passed by Mount Buzhou. He remembered me from back then. Now, seeing us show up, he straight up tried to kick us out. After all, this was the Wu clan's ancestral land, and outsiders weren't welcome. While he was sizing me up, I was also sizing him up. One of the 12 ancestral Wus, the ancestral Wu of space and speed, Dijiang. To think the current 12 ancestral Wus are only at the golden immortal realm. I was surprised inwardly, but didn't forget to explain my purpose for coming. Dijiang, right? I came here today because I have something to discuss with you all. What do you mean, you have something? What do you mean, you have nothing? Our Wu clan hasn't provoked you. Leave quickly. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite. Dijiang's tone was unfriendly, and his hostility was extremely strong. I just felt it was baffling. As expected of the famous iron-headed simpletons of the prehistoric world. With the Dragon clan's current limelight, who wouldn't give us a bit of face? Yet this guy, with his simple-minded, completely unyielding attitude, was truly amusing. Hey, you guy. My master came to discuss something with you. What kind of attitude is this? Kong Xian said in dissatisfaction. Outsiders are not allowed to enter the Wu clan's ancestral land. No matter what your purpose is, it's not allowed. Di Jiang snorted coldly. Suddenly, as if he remembered something, he changed his tune. I heard your dragon clan is very rich. Then you must have quite a few treasures on you, right? How about this? I was originally going to chase you away. But if you can, I won't fight. His tone made it sound as if I was taking some huge advantage. This made me very annoyed. Did he really think I was easy to bully? Do you think you can defeat me? If I don't leave, what can you do to me? I laughed out of anger. If I can't beat you, I'll go get the other ancestral Wus to come together. Di Zhang's tone was calm and affirmative. He was telling me that he would actually do it. If it were anyone else, it would mostly be a threat. But the Wu clan members were straightforward. If they were going to call for backup, they would say it plain and simple. Then what if the other ancestral Wus come? And you still can't beat me? These words made Di Jiang freeze. He actually stood there thinking about this question. Were all Wu clan members really this simple-minded? To actually think seriously about such a thing. I'm still standing right in front of you, you know? I chuckled inwardly. They truly lived up to their reputation. After waiting a short while, Di Jiang really couldn't figure it out. And became extremely irritable. I don't care, let's fight first and talk later. If you can really beat us, you can do whatever you want. I gladly accepted. Di Jiang attacked immediately. A fierce white light pierced through space, heading straight for my face. If this hit me, it would definitely draw blood. After all, the ancestral will specialize in physical bodies. And my human form isn't as tough as my true form. As expected of the ancestral Wu of space and speed, he moved like a whirlwind. Kong Xian hadn't even reacted yet. But I was faster than him. The moment I noticed him make a move, I immediately shrank the ground and crossed space. Relying on the 9 Revolutions arcane art, I took his punch head-on. The terrifying power vanished into nothingness, like a mud ox entering the sea. Di Jiang was dumbfounded. Isn't this guy in front of me from the dragon tribe? How could he take this punch with his physical body alone? Impossible, absolutely impossible. Refusing to believe it, he threw another punch from where he stood. And I easily caught it again. It seems that with the second level of the 9 Revolutions arcane art, I have already surpassed the ancestral Wus of the same realm. My true form's physical strength will be even greater. I could even distract myself while fighting Di Jiang. It was a complete physical crushing. No matter how he performed, he couldn't possibly be my match. Di Jiang struggled to hold on under my suppression, feeling extremely shocked inside. To think someone could suppress him physically. From my body, he felt a very familiar aura. It was very similar to his own. That was actually the aura of the 9 Revolutions arcane art. But he mistook it for the power of the Wu tribe bloodline. A bold idea arose in Di Jiang's mind. Could Ao Xian be my big brother? He can suppress my physical body, has a similar aura, and is stronger than me. He must be our big brother. Before he could think further, a loud roar came from afar. Hey! Who are you? Do you think my Wu tribe has no one left? I frowned. A few more ancestral was rushed over from the distance. Di Jiang. Zhu Rong roared furiously, looking as if Di Jiang had already been beaten to death. Do these guys really have nothing in their heads? These muscle freaks are really the most troublesome. Those ancestral was attacked directly without a word, giving me no chance to speak at all. Relying on their tough bodies, their iron fists blocked all my room to dodge. And every punch headed straight for my face. Wouldn't it be embarrassing if one of these punches hit? I was also truly enraged by the beating. I fought back immediately. I grabbed Zhu Rong and Gomang's fists with both hands and violently twisted them. Using the momentum, I smashed them into the third person surrounding me. Dealing with Rushou too, Di Jiang ended up in an even more difficult situation. Seeing this, Di Jiang also joined the fray. But I didn't dodge at all. I grabbed Di Jiang and swung him like a sledgehammer, smashing him wildly against Zhu Rong. This kid was the one most happily trying to hit my face just now. You want to fight, right? Then I'll fight you to the end. I gritted my teeth, determined to take my anger out on these fools. It seems these muscle freaks won't listen unless they're beaten into submission. Otherwise, there's no way to communicate with them at all. Mount Bujo was exceptionally sturdy. I swung Di Jiang around in a full circle, directly clearing out an empty space. Kong Xian had hidden far away long ago, terrified of being caught in the crossfire. I beat up the 4 ancestral wuss for a full hour, while the other ancestral was actually swatted around watching the show. As expected of the Wu tribe. Stop, 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 big brother. I surrender. Di Jiang hastily begged for mercy, having been tossed around by me for an hour. If it weren't for the ancestral wuss tough bodies, his soul would have scattered by now. He was genuinely beaten dizzy. The dignified ancestral Wu was actually used as a heavy weapon by someone in the same realm. You surrender? Can we talk properly now? I snorted coldly and let go. Di Jiang was so dizzy he couldn't tell north, south, east, from west. His bruised and swollen face looked incredibly comical. Zhu Rong and the others were equally miserable. Big brother, hold on a second. We have something to say. Di Jiang shouted, and turned to gather his brothers together. Aside from Xianming and Ho Tu, all 10 ancestral wuss were present. Hiss, how could a dragon tribe member have a stronger body than us? Di Jiang rubbed his face, sucking in a cold breath. Is that guy really from the dragon tribe? Why do I feel like he's more Wu tribe than we are? Zhu Rong shrank his neck, clearly terrified from the beating. Yeah, compared to him, we ancestral wuss seem like fakes. He must be our lost tribesman. Di Jiang lowered his voice and guessed, with such a strong body, his bloodline must be even better than ours. We have to help Big Brother acknowledge his ancestors and return to the tribe. He's too pitiful. Wandering since childhood, he definitely doesn't know his own identity. Woo. Di Jiang actually moved himself to tears as he spoke. The other ancestral was also followed suit, wiping away tears. This level of intelligence is unmatched. But what if Big Brother doesn't acknowledge us? Wu Zhurong also cried out loud. I have an idea. Let's trick him into going to the Panga God Temple first. If he can enter, it proves he's a Wu tribe member. Then, the evidence will be irrefutable. Big Brother will definitely. In my heart, I was speechless. Please, could you keep your voices down when conspiring? I can hear you loud and clear, okay? However, this situation is actually advantageous to me. If the identity of the ancestral wuss Big Brother is truly established, wouldn't the Wu tribe directly become my core team? 9 Revolutions Arcane Art. System, did you plan this all along? I let out a long sigh. Kong Xian stood to the side, also full of reverence, sighing with emotion that he had gotten a head start and followed the right person. Even the Wu tribe wanted to proactively acknowledge him as their big brother. Big brother, sorry we hit you too hard just now. Let's go to the Panga God Temple to rest and talk first. Di Jiang walked over with a serious expression. His eyes actually carried guilt for deceiving me. I could only pretend not to know and play along with their act. The group quickly hurried to the Panga God Temple stretching before us. This grand hall was transformed from Panga's heart. The shock it brought was indescribable. The entire structure showed no traces of carving, as if it were formed naturally. Before even getting close, a terrifying coercion fell upon me. Right at this moment, the fragment of the heaven-splitting axe in my sea of consciousness vibrated slightly. The coercion instantly vanished without a trace. Could that coercion just now have been a screening? I understood in my heart. If one didn't have the Wu tribe bloodline, it would be absolutely impossible to enter. I took a deep breath and walked into the God Temple. The breathing of the 10 ancestral was behind me grew heavy. In their eyes, this was already irrefutable evidence. Sure enough, there's no mistake. He is our big brother. Entering the hall, the first thing in sight was a stone stele wrapped in fragmented Tao principles. And behind the stone stele, a massive blood pool was impressively revealed. Big brother, that is where we were born. Panga's essence blood was limited. After nurturing us 12 ancestral wuss, it was exhausted. From now on, it will only birth great wuss. Di Jiang explained from the side. I nodded in response. Actually, this wasn't just a matter of essence blood. The 12 ancestral wuss were predestined by fate. The massive god temple was extremely simple. Only the lake-like blood pool and the stone stele in the center. appeared majestic and grand. Big brother, it's time to tell you. Dejiang suddenly approached with an excited expression. Actually, you were also born from this blood pool. And even earlier than us. Our previous concealment was just to test you. To see if you could enter this god temple, which only those with the Wu tribe bloodline can set foot in. Since you came in, it means Father God has recognized your bloodline. You have suffered outside for so many years. Looking at Dejiang's self-blaming appearance, 10,000 horses galloped through my heart. But on my face, I still had to feign shock. I didn't expect that I was actually a Wu tribe member. You are my little brother. Big brother. Dejiang started wiping away tears again. At this time, the other ancestral was filed into the hall. Two figures instantly attracted my gaze. They were exactly Xianming and Ho Tu. The system gave a prompt. Both were characters scoring 9 points or above. Xianming was petite like a loli, yet well endowed, while Ho Tu was tall with long legs. Her temperament gentle like a caring older sister. I collected my thoughts and looked at the only inheritance in the hall. A stone stele covered in inscriptions. After reading just a few paragraphs, I recognized it. Recorded on it was the Primordial world's top body refining cultivation method. The 9 revolutions arcane art. Unfortunately, the inscription came to an abrupt halt at the 5th revolution. It was actually incomplete. Big brother. The 9 revolutions arcane art on this is incomplete due to missing Dao marks. So the cultivation realm is limited. Dejiang scratched his head and explained. He thought I wanted this cultivation method. Not knowing that a complete version was right in my head. I discovered that there was a hidden space inside the stone stele. It could actually isolate divine sense. So I gently pushed Dejiang aside and directly summoned the Taichu sword. With one strike, I split open the stone stele left by Father God. Big brother, how could you destroy the stone stele? Dejiang was shocked. Xianming and Ho Tu also frowned in unison. I didn't answer. Reaching out to catch the stream of light that flew out from the shattered stele. It was a memory inheritance of a divine ability. Law of heaven and earth. Then, I smiled calmly. If the stone stele is destroyed, so be it. I have the complete 9 revolutions arcane art right here. I will engrave it into a bamboo slip with my divine sense and give it to you. Their beautiful faces instantly flushed red, as they looked at me with shame and reverence. This is actually the complete 9 revolutions arcane art. Big brother, I thought you were tricking us just now. The two women's affection for me instantly soared. Dejiang's expression grew even more solemn. And he said seriously, Big brother. Originally we were still a bit unconvinced. But now we are truly convinced. Not only is your martial power unmatched, you have also completed the Wu tribe's inheritance. It is only right that you be the lord of my Wu tribe. That's right, Big brother alone can fight several of us. The other ancestral was echoed in agreement. Directly honoring me as the lord of the Wus. Hearing that I had once fought several ancestral Wus alone. And one, besides admiration in their beautiful eyes. There was also a bit of a young woman's affection. Who wouldn't be moved by such a handsome and strong man? I appeared calm on the surface. But my heart was blooming with joy. This wave of acknowledging ancestors and returning to the tribe directly let me freeload the entire Wu tribe. System. Option is now completely fulfilled. We pay our respects to the Lord of the Wus. We pay our respects to Big Brother. Dejiang forcefully pulled me to sit on the main seat of the Panga God Temple. And led the Wus in a grand ceremony of worship. Formally establishing my identity. Looking at this group of fools who easily acknowledged a stranger as their leader. My heart was full of helplessness. Although everything was beyond expectation, I definitely didn't dare to reveal my true identity. Otherwise, these stubborn ancestral Wus would definitely fight me to the death. Option completed. Obtained. Reward, Great Luo Golden Immortal Level Sword Art Divine Ability, Severing Yin and Yang. Sword Art Divine Ability, Severing Yin and Yang. With one strike of the sword, sever heaven and earth. Severing Yin and Yang can not only destroy a person's physical body, but also slay their primordial spirit. I secretly rejoiced in my heart. And looked at the inventory. It is a Great Luo Golden Immortal. I had experienced this level of power when dealing with the Phoenix tribe. Now that I have another one, my trump cards are even thicker. And the addition of Severing Yin and Yang is enough to make my combat power achieve a qualitative leap. Look how happily Big Brother is smiling. He must be very happy to become the lord of our Wu tribe. Yeah, following Big Brother from now on. Our Wu tribe will definitely be able to replace the 3 tribes. And become the new overlord of the primordial world. Seeing me smile, the wuss excitedly discussed among themselves. I was left somewhat speechless by this. These guys really would be sold by someone. And still help count the money. But on second thought, since I had become their big brother, I couldn't watch my own little brothers suffer losses. With a slight shift in my thoughts, I took out a pile of natural treasures from the chaos bead, piling them up into a small mountain in front of me. This is a jade spirit fruit over 100,000 years old. This is actually a dragon saliva grass of at least 1,000,000 years. Incredible. This can elevate our Wu tribe bloodlines. Purity, a Wu blood flower. Di Jiang and the others exclaimed in shock. Although they were esteemed as ancestral Wus, they had never seen such a massive amount of top-tier resources. After everyone calmed down, Di Jiang looked at me in confusion. Big brother. What are you? These are all spiritual herbs that can strengthen the physical body. Take them out and distribute them among yourselves. Since I am your big brother, just consider these spiritual herbs as my meeting gift to you. I waved my hand, feigning nonchalance. You can't do that, big brother. This is too precious. Yeah, big brother, you take them for your cultivation. How can we take your things? Although these fools were poor, they valued brotherhood extremely highly. I didn't see greed in anyone's eyes. This actually made me more determined to give them the herbs. If you still consider me your big brother and Wu Lord, then don't decline anymore. My expression turned stern, bringing out the majesty of the Wu Lord. You have no way to cultivate the primordial spirit. So your strength entirely lies in your physical bodies. Combined with the complete 9 revolutions arcane art, these spiritual herbs can make your strength advance by leaps and bounds. So you can better protect the tribesmen. Thank you, big brother. Don't worry, big brother. We will definitely cultivate hard. The Wus were moved beyond words and knelt on the ground. I instantly thought of that system. Reward for subduing 9-point beauties. These two's appearances were not inferior to Shihi's, so they definitely met the requirements. After everyone finished distributing the spiritual herbs, I proposed with a straight face, brothers. I feel that Xianming and Ho Tu, these 2 girls, hanging out with you rough men every day, isn't exactly a good thing. Their physical bodies are naturally a bit weaker than the other ancestral Wus, so they aren't suitable for solely cultivating physical strength. I think they can follow me to the dragon tribe first, and I'll see if I can find a primordial spirit cultivation method suitable for them. The straightforward ancestral Wus didn't suspect my ulterior motives at all. Instead, they happily urged, that's great. You too, hurry up and thank Big Brother. With Big Brother looking after you, your future is definitely unmeasurable. After Xianming and Ho Tu, the 2 women, I didn't stay long in the Panga God Temple either. I immediately bid farewell to the ancestral Wus. Big brother, are you leaving? Big brother, why not stay in the Wu tribe for a while longer? We still want to listen more to Big Brother's teachings. Seeing that I was leaving, the ancestral Wus faces were full of reluctance. Although we had known each other for a very short time, my repeated displays of strength, bestowing the complete 9 revolutions arcane art, and countless natural treasures, had already won everyone's respect. Don't worry, I'm just leaving temporarily. I will be back very soon. I smiled and comforted them. The Wu tribe is the future overlord of the primordial world. Since I have become the lord of the Wus, I definitely won't close the door on them. I left the god temple with the 2 women. Master, you're out. Kong Xian, who was guarding outside, hurriedly came up to meet me. He had no Wu tribe bloodline and couldn't enter, so he had always been waiting around. Master, what is this? When he saw Ho Tu and Xianming following behind me, his face was full of confusion. I am now already the lord of the Wu tribe. Ho Tu and Xianming, these 2 ancestral Wus, will also follow by my side and work for me from now on. I explained casually. Kong Xian was instantly dumbfounded, staring at me with wide eyes. He had originally been worrying. Yes. From now on, our entire Wu tribe will follow Brother Ao Xian's lead. Xianming and Ho Tu hooked their arms around mine, one on the left and one on the right. personally stepping forward to clarify. Quietly. It's actually true. My master is truly too awesome. Not only did he subdue the ancestral wuss, he even conveniently kidnapped two beauties. I have to hand it to him. Kong Xian admired me in prostration, feeling the softness transmitted from my arms. I also felt a bit lightheaded, but quickly recovered my composure. What are you spacing out for? Let's set off and return to the East Sea now. I patted Kong Xian. He immediately revealed his thousand-zhong true form, his wings spreading out to blot out the sky and sun, terrifying the birds and beasts within 1,000 miles, having a sense of security. They were too shy to leave. Kong Xian was extremely fast. In just a few days, he flew over hundreds of millions of miles to arrive at the East Sea. He dove headfirst into the deep sea. After diving tens of thousands of miles, the Dragon Palace, radiating dazzling golden light, appeared before everyone's eyes. Is this the Dragon Palace? Looking at the palace built from countless natural treasures, Xian Ming and Ho Tu stared with wide, shocked eyes. We pay our respects to Your Highness. Your Highness has returned to the Dragon Palace. A group of dragons came out one after another to welcome me, with the dissidents being cleared out. My status in the dragon tribe was already unshakable. I settled the two women next to my sleeping quarters, and casually left behind a pile of Punlai treasures for their cultivation. Option completed, subdued ancestral Wu Ho Tuesday obtained reward. Movement technique divine ability, divine void. Steps. Ding. Option completed, subdued ancestral Wu Xian Ming. Obtained reward, primordial version ethylene ripening agent. 3 bottles. The system prompt sounded. I was overjoyed in my heart. It goes without saying that the divine void steps could explosively increase speed. I focused my attention on those 3 bottles of potion. Primordial version ethylene ripening agent. Dog sis. Tem, what messy stuff did you give me again? After seeing the description clearly, I couldn't help but gasp. This potion could actually be used to ripen spiritual treasures. There were 3 bottles of this primordial version ethylene ripening agent in total. Each bottle could ripen 1 spiritual treasure. Didn't this mean I could harvest the 12-grade world-cleansing White Lotus ahead of time? Thinking of Punlai Immortal Island, and that yet-to-mature world-cleansing White Lotus inside, I was overjoyed. I originally planned to wait until it fully matured before taking it away. I never expected the potion to have such a miraculous effect. It could not only suppress providence, but was also a veritable innate defensive supreme treasure. Getting it early meant having an extra life-saving trump card. Long Jiao. Suppressing my excitement, I summoned Long Jiao and headed straight for Punlai Immortal Island. To conceal the Immortal Island's existence, we had initiated the Eastern Great Development Plan. On the sea surface at this moment, countless dragons were revealing their myriad zhong true forms, moving mountains and filling the sea. Island after island rose from the ground, guarding the surroundings of Punlai. If there was only a solitary Immortal Island, it would naturally stand out. But now, mixed among so many artificial islands, it was as hard as ascending to heaven for outsiders to accurately find Punlai. Not bad. Looking at the tribesmen working enthusiastically below, I nodded to myself in satisfaction. After experiencing the great calamity, the dragon tribe, having cleared out the evil dog and other troublemakers, had become united like never before. We pay our respects to Your Highness. Your Highness is here. The group of dragons respectfully bowed one after another. Their eyes were full of gratitude. They knew clearly that it was my existence that let the dragon tribe escape the great calamity and flourish day by day. I smiled and gestured in greeting. Then, I came outside the restriction with Long Jiao. I mobilized my magic power to resonate with the innate restriction. The gateway opened with a boom. Long Jiao, wait outside. After giving the instruction, I dodged inside to ripen the spiritual treasure. This action was too shocking to the world. In order not to expose the system, I absolutely wouldn't let anyone follow me. I instantly appeared at the peak of Punlai. Once again, I saw that round water pool. The White Lotus in the pool seemed to sense my arrival, swaying with the wind. 12-grade world-cleansing White Lotus. The world-cleansing White Lotus was on the same level as the world-destroying Black Lotus, but it could stabilize the primordial spirit and purify filth. It was of great assistance to my cultivation. I took out the ripening agent. flew in front of the lotus, and directly poured the green liquid down. A miraculous scene occurred. The originally budding white lotus actually bloomed at a visible speed. The petals slowly unfolded, revealing the fresh, vibrant lotus platform. Boom! As the spiritual treasure fully matured, a powerful coercion swept in all directions. Thousands of rosy rays and auspicious colors appeared. Incomparably holy. Good. Great. This potion's effect is surprisingly good. And it saved me hundreds of thousands of years of waiting. I immediately reached out and pressed on a petal. My primordial spirit surging out wildly, ready to refine it. I originally thought refining such a supreme treasure would take thousands of years. But when my primordial spirit touched the lotus platform, the white lotus actually dispersed its resistance, allowing my imprint to enter it. Treasures have spirits. It clearly knew that I was the one who helped it mature early, and actually submitted proactively. I actually refined the world-cleansing white lotus so easily. Even when, with a slight shift of my mind, the white lotus fell into my palm, I still couldn't quite believe it. Feeling the blood-connected power in my hands, I almost cried out in excitement. As the world-cleansing white lotus was refined, its profound usages flooded into my mind. I tried pouring magic power into it. The white lotus shone brightly. A white light shield instantly enveloped me, and expanded or shrank according to my will. All external divine abilities and spiritual treasure attacks were blocked. It could also stabilize the primordial spirit, ignoring curses and poisons. I closed my eyes to sense it. As long as magic power didn't dry up, cultivators below the Great Luo Golden Immortal level would find it hard to break this defense. Such defensive capability is really too incredible. As expected of an innate defensive supreme treasure, I opened my eyes, unable to hide my joy. With it, I finally have the power to protect myself in the primordial world. Not to mention I still have the trump card of summoning the ancestral dragon. Far away at Mount Heavenly Demon Ancestor Luo Hu was currently burning with rage. Damn it. Are the Qilin tribe all a bunch of idiots? Such a simple sowing discord trick by the dragon tribe. And they actually couldn't see through it. His layout of hundreds of millions of years absolutely couldn't be broken by the dragon tribe avoiding battle. Luo Hu grew ruthless. He must resolve the conflict between the two tribes, and let them continue to join forces against the dragon tribe. This would create slaughter karma. To help him prove his Tao through killing, he immediately flew to the Phoenix tribe. Yuan Feng, who was in seclusion, sensed Luo Hu's aura, and came out to welcome him in surprise. Fellow Taoist Luo Hu. Yuan Feng bowed. She asked, I wonder why fellow Taoist Luo Hu has come to my Phoenix tribe's territory? What is your business here? Luo Hu immediately launched into a barrage of accusations. Yuan Feng, you and the Qilin tribe have both been deceived by the dragon tribe. And you don't even know it. Although Yuan Feng was angry, constrained by Luo Hu's strength and the Phoenix tribe's current situation, she could only endure it. Fellow Taoist Luo Hu. What do you want? Now, your Phoenix tribe and the Qilin tribe must immediately call a truce, and then join forces together to deal with the dragon tribe. Yuan Feng refused, saying, that's impossible. Our Phoenix tribe and the Qilin tribe have already been fighting in real fury. It's not that easy to stop now. Seeing that coercion didn't work, Luo Hu switched to bribery. If you are willing to call a truce and deal with the dragon tribe, not only will I lend you the world-destroying Black Lotus, I'll also give you 1,000 spiritual herbs over 100,000 years old. Yuan Feng was tempted. The Phoenix tribe had many wounded and lacked resources. All right. I accept your conditions. As long as the Qilin tribe doesn't cause trouble anymore, our Phoenix tribe can call a truce with them. Actually, Yuan Feng had long wanted to use this to step down and stop this hugely draining war. Afterwards, Luo Hu went to the Qilin tribe and used the same coercion and bribery to make sure Qilin also agreed to withdraw his troops. Although the two tribes were still as incompatible as fire and water, Luo Hu's goal had already been achieved. As long as the water was muddied, it was enough. As soon as the war paused, Yuan Feng immediately manifested her thousands of Zhang true form and let out a long cry, summoning her army. Kong Xian, you rebellious son! How dare you slander me everywhere? This time I will definitely lead the Phoenix tribe army to tear your body into 10,000 pieces. She looked towards the East Sea. Killing intent overflowing. Besides Luo Hu's demand, she wanted even more to force the dragon tribe to hand over Kongxian. To vent her personal anger. And restore the Phoenix tribe's majesty. Set off. With Yuan Feng's command. She led the remnants of the Phoenix tribe to charge towards the East Sea once again. Yuan Feng, oh, Yuan Feng. I hope your Phoenix tribe can severely damage the dragon tribe's vitality this time. Otherwise, don't blame this seat for proving my Dao through killing ahead of time. Luo Hu leisurely watched the departing backs of the Phoenix tribe. Above the East Sea, bird cries pierced the clouds. Countless phoenixes transformed into fiery red clouds and descended. Giant meteor-like fireballs fell one after another, stirring up myriad zhong waves. Fierce flames burned intensely on the sea surface. Steam permeated the air. And countless fish and shrimp were turned to charcoal. In just a moment, the sea level dropped rapidly. The magnificent dragon palace impressively came into view. You loaches inside the dragon palace. Quickly hand over my rebellious son, Kongxian. Yuan Feng's voice spread across the East Sea like thunder. Chaos instantly erupted inside the dragon palace. Why has the Phoenix tribe come attacking again? Aren't they at war with the Qilin tribe? His Highness Ao Xian made them suffer a huge loss last time. How dare they still come? Although the dragon tribe's strength had increased somewhat, and the Phoenix tribe had also been weakened by the divine lightning, Yuan Feng was a top-tier expert at the peak of the Great Luo Golden Immortal Realm. A half-step quasi-sage. With her alone, no one in the dragon tribe could match her. Your Highness, I'm afraid we can only invite the ancestral dragon out of seclusion now. To be able to resist Yuan Feng. Yes, Your Highness. Please quickly invite the ancestral dragon out. The dragons pleaded anxiously. No need. Letting my father peacefully cultivate in seclusion to heal his injuries is the most important thing. These troubles before us don't require inviting my father out. I directly refused. And said self-righteously, disturbing my father's peaceful cultivation. I, the #1 filial son of the primordial world, truly cannot bear it in my heart. I was very clear in my heart. I absolutely must not let the ancestral dragon out. Otherwise, once that old geezer finished dealing with the Phoenix ancestor, the first thing he would do after turning around would be to kill me, this filial son. At this moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding. Option triggered. The Phoenix tribe has come knocking again. Yuan Feng is extremely powerful. Host choices: 1. Meet Yuan Feng head-on. Reward: exquisite flip-top urn. And anti-recoil cloak. 2. Cower and refuse to go out. Borrow the Inyan Generation and Destruction Brand. Formation to resist. Reward: turtle shell divine art. Face thickness plus 300. 3. Risk personal danger, use the 12 grade. World cleansing white lotus. To block Yuan Feng's sure kill strike, and then retreat. Reward: group dragon soul devouring formation. After careful consideration, I already had a decision in my heart. Option 1 was pure suicide. Option 2 was too cowardly and would damage my prestige. Only option 3 best suited my mind. System. How powerful is the group dragon soul devouring formation? The group dragon soul devouring formation is exclusive to the dragon tribe. The greater the numbers, the stronger the power. Moreover, it can absorb the souls of Dead Sea tribesmen to increase its power. Learning that the reward was not bad, I immediately flew up into the air. Your Highness, what are you going to do? Your Highness, don't be impulsive. The dragon stepped forward one after another to stop me. As the patriarch of the dragon tribe, now that the dragon tribe is in trouble, I naturally must lead by example. Do not stop me. Even if I die in battle today, I will not retreat. I put on a highly righteous appearance. Your Highness is so righteous. We admire you. Since your Highness is not afraid of death, what do we have to fear? The dragon's eyes filled with hot tears, their blood boiling as they wanted to follow my example and fight to the death. Kongxian walked forward guiltily at this moment. Master, Yuan Feng is coming for me. I should just go back with her proactively. This way, the Phoenix tribe will probably retreat. He clearly thought he was the one who caused the trouble, and wanted to sacrifice himself. What are you thinking? Yuan Feng is just using you as an excuse. Even without you, she would still attack my dragon tribe. I waved my big hand. and shouted to the dragons behind me, "Boys, follow me out. Let's go meet Yuan Feng, this mixed feather bird." I directly strode towards the outside of the dragon palace. "Master." Kong Xian looked touched. And also fearlessly followed closely behind. He secretly swore to himself that as long as he had a breath left in him, he would absolutely not let Yuan Feng harm a hair on his master's head. A small number of timid dragons also didn't dare to say much at this time, and could only helplessly follow to the outside of the dragon palace. "You loaches actually really dare to come out of the dragon palace?" Yuan Feng, standing proudly in the air, spoke with surprise. The phoenix tribe behind her, blotting out the sky and moon, burned with fierce flames. The entire sky was reflected a deep crimson. A powerful aura swept over like giant waves. The dragon's hot blood instantly cooled, and their morale plummeted. "I told you we shouldn't have come out. The phoenix tribe's strength is too great, sigh. Coming out is totally suicide." Yuan Feng looked at Ao Xian and Kong Xian, and threatened Ao Xian. "Hand over this rebellious son Kong Xian now. And I can let bygones be bygones with your dragon tribe. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite." Facing the coercion, my face showed no sign of fear. "Yuan Feng, you mixed feather bird. Don't think that just because my father is in seclusion, our dragon tribe is easy to bully. Since Kong Xian has defected to our dragon tribe, then he is one of our own. We will absolutely not hand him over to you. Bring it on, Phoenix tribe. Since you dare to provoke our dragon tribe, this time I'll make sure your Phoenix tribe comes but never returns." I directly spat out curses. Yuan Feng's face looked incredibly ugly. "Just based on you guys, you want our Phoenix tribe to come but never return?" She sneered disdainfully and shouted to those behind her, "Children, attack. Kill all these loaches." The Phoenix tribe swooped down to attack. I let out a dragon roar, directly manifesting my hundreds of Zhonglong true form. "Boys, don't be afraid. Our dragon tribe's combat power is unmatched in the primordial world. What is there to fear from these mixed feather birds?" I roared wildly, emitting a bloodline coercion not inferior to the ancestral dragons. The dragon tribe's morale was finally boosted. Both sides instantly engaged in a bloody slaughter. Fireballs and lightning clashed fiercely in the void. The battle directly entered a white-hot stage. The commotion in the East Sea attracted the attention of mighty figures across the three realms. On Mount Yujing, Hong Jun suddenly opened his eyes, full of doubts. Hasn't the dragon tribe already escaped from the great calamity? Why have they been drawn into it again? Meanwhile, in the Qilin tribe's territory, Shi Qilin was exceptionally excited. "Great! The old phoenix and the dragon tribe are finally fighting." On the battlefield, I stayed at the very front the whole time. The dragon tribe's morale soared, beating the phoenix tribe into steady retreat. So the phoenix tribe is nothing more than this. Kill all these mixed feather birds. Kong Xian even more so revealed his true form and charged into the enemy formation. His five-color divine light swept away everything. Anyone from the phoenix tribe who was hit instantly lost their magic power, and was subsequently torn to pieces by him. Because his accumulated resentment towards the phoenix tribe was so deep, his attacks were even more brutal than those of the dragons. "Kong Xian, you traitor of the phoenix tribe. As Yuan Feng's son, you actually betrayed the phoenix tribe. You will die a horrible death." The phoenix tribe members who died by his hands uttered vicious curses before their deaths.